Okay, give it a second.
Yeah.
And then we will check it.
Oh, look, it's getting it. Okay.
It's starting. It looks very ugly at first.
Yeah, it looked nasty. That's why I was like...
It will get better. And this is super old, so we've had to, like, turn it on, shut it off, let it cool down again, do it again. So we're still in the process. Alright, let's see. Ooh. It's the wind. Derek will pick it up. Derek will pick it up. Did we do this right? Oh, there it is. Yep. Okay, we're good. Let's see.
Is the mat hot or you alright?
No, it's good. Yeah. Yeah, we're good. Also, the thing... A paper just fell from over there because the window's open, so the wind.
All good.
Alrighty. Let me get the shirt out. Share it. Okay. Still gonna get a notification though.
On what?
On Facebook.
I did.
What? Yeah, no.
Yeah, you just talked. Where is it? So I can do it.
So if you get a notification, you can just share it from there. If not, you can just go to WADCast and then share it.
Oh my god. I see me. Look at you.
See?
Okay.
And there's no way for them to find him, so you're good.
Okay.
Alrighty. Well, welcome back for another installment of the With All Due Respect podcast. Today we have Niyaaa, aka Niyaaa, aka Living the Life with Niyaaa on YouTube. So today we're just gonna kind of chop it up. So tell them about yourself, who you are, what you
Okay. All right. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Niyaaa. My real name's Niyaaa, but I go by Niyaaa just cause that's my nickname. That was not created by my family, but my mom hates it.
Oh.
She's like, that's not your name. Her and my grandma. Anyways, I'm 21. I'm a senior in college.
Ooh.
I graduate May 23rd. I'm gonna get my degree in psychology. No, I have no idea what I want to do with it. Like, I'm gonna continue my education, get my master's, but I'm gonna go part-time. I work at... No, I shouldn't say it, right?
I mean...
Yeah, but I work at a hospital. We're not going to say where. Yes. Yeah, just like I didn't say my school, because I was like, no, they don't need to know. So,
you don't tell them too much.
Right, got to be like behind the scenes. Yeah, so I don't know if I want to still major in psychology. I don't know. It's so hard to know what you want to do at this point. Like, especially with COVID, it's just like, it just really sucks, Like,
you're still so young.
I know, but I feel so old at the same time. Like, I really do. I feel like, wow.
Because you're getting a bachelor's right now?
Yeah.
In psychology?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so for me, like, I got my bachelor's in early intervention and psych. I got two. Like, double majored. But I was like, I don't know what I want to do for the rest of my life. Right. So then I waited. And now I've been in this program for 6 years where I work. And I was like, I'm glad I waited because this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So it's like you want to kind of play the field too before you jump in to get your master's, because you don't want to spend all this money on a master's and then it really not be what you want. If you know that's what you want.
Yeah, I just want to keep going just cause maybe if I do like liberal arts, you know, just dabble a little bit. Because, like, I do like math, you know. So, like, my mom used to be like, oh, why don't you do coding or something, you know? And I'm just like, I like it, but, like, all of that's, like, I hated statistics. Like, when I tell you, like, we had to take it because I'm a psych major and, like, we do research and we read, like, graphs and stuff and we do homework assignments. So, like, yeah, I really had to learn all that crazy stuff. And, like, I barely passed. But I passed, so, oh, well. Like, it doesn't matter. Like... And yeah, right now I'm taking 3 electives and like my last major credit to graduate, and then that's it.
You're done.
Yeah, but I'm not like excited though, because I'm like, you know, I'm probably not gonna get graduation.
I feel like there might be some form of graduation.
Yeah.
Like even if all the visitors are virtual,
yeah,
you guys might get to like at least one by one walk, and then just like go right to your car.
Yeah, it's
or
just
drive by and get your diploma.
I know, I'm just like, it just sucks, you know? Like,
everything's so different.
But I already said, like, if I don't get one, I'm gonna tell my mom, like, can we do it in the backyard? Like, and she put out a red carpet, right? And they're like, Niyaaa Martin, Bachelor of Science in Psychology. And I'll be like, I'll literally walk in my cap and gown. Like, what? And then I gotta go to campus and take my pictures, you know, how you take your, like, all right, it's been real, like, for the school. So, I gotta do that, you know?
Yeah. It's tough though. This COVID thing, everything's changed.
Yeah, I really like miss campus. Like,
okay,
you're good. Live your life.
I really miss campus, you know, because like, you know, not saying I don't like being home, but like, you know, I just miss like being closer to my friends, like all that. I used to have my job there, but I had to stop because like I was like, I'm going remote, so I'm not coming back. I'm not gonna spend all that money, you know. So it's just annoying.
Yeah, COVID's annoying.
Yeah, like, I'm supposed to go to the club. I haven't been to no clubs yet. So I be getting lit by myself, like, putting on my music, just, like, with my lights, you know, by myself, because,
You don't need nobody else to have fun.
Exactly.
No, I hear you.
Yeah, it's just hard.
Yeah. I mean, regardless, whether you get an actual graduation or not, you'll have your little graduation in the backyard, so
yeah, that's cute. Good. Right. And y'all better come through. Like, you already know. We're gonna have some bomb food. It's gonna be. I'm gonna do like in a field. I'm not even gonna be like. So we're all social distance. So that way, yeah. So that way it's like, you know, and I'll be like, someone just brings the food. Like, all right, to this section, that section, like that. Like.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
But it's good. You're almost done.
Yeah, so close. Like, I don't know. I feel like May's like not that far because we're almost in March, but it still like feels like so far.
Yeah,
like
it's literally like maybe 2 months.
Yeah, because like my last week's like the first week of May. Yeah. Because like that's finals, but like I don't have finals like paper, so you know, I don't know.
It's YouTube on there. Like if it pops up.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
No, I know. So literally like maybe like 2.5 months left.
Yeah.
It's gonna fly by.
It needs to fly quicker.
How often are you like taking classes? Monday through Friday or?
Yeah, so Tuesdays I have no class. Mondays and Wednesdays I have the same class. It's Intro to Sociology. So like elective, my easy course. And then I'm taking elementary Spanish on Thursdays. And then Fridays is my capstone project. It's called History and Systems of Psychology. So we talk about like the people like who really started it all and everything, like background and all that. So yeah, so it's not too bad. And then my fourth class, we don't have Zoom at all, which I love because it's like we don't need Zoom. Yeah. Like,
I mean, a lot of this stuff you don't need Zoom. Like, you can just.
Yeah, it's just so dumb. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just like, how are you supposed to sit there like and just be like not like feel like, oh, I need to get up. Let me check my phone. Like how do you expect me to just pay attention?
I mean, that's kind of what's happening with everyone who's in school right
now. Literally, like...
You know, like, think about these first, second, third graders that are like...
Yeah, like my brother, he's in 3rd grade right now. Literally has to sit there from 8:30 to like 2:05. And my cousin, my 10-year-old cousin, I'm like, what?
It's hard. It's tough.
I'm like... And then, like, you know, it's cute because when, like, they go to lunch, you know, some kids stay on the chat and be, like, talking because, like, they miss, like, you know, like...
there's no interaction.
Yeah, like, I feel so bad. Like, see, I know I want to do something with kids, like, for sure, because, like, I love kids. And, like, they're so cute, you know? So I don't
Well,
know.
you can test to be a social worker and come work in early intervention.
Yeah.
We need people.
I know, but I gotta get like a poker face better though, because I'd be like mad attached. I get mad attached, like, you know, I'm a Cancer, so. Water signs, like, hello.
What is all that anyways? Like, I never really, like, bought into
Astrology.
Yeah.
Well, I just feel like it's more deeper than like the horoscopes you see. Like, there's a thing where you put in like the time you were born, where you were born, and it's more about you. Like, not like, oh, like you're like this, you know? Yeah, and I did that. So it's like three most important things. It's your sun sign, which mine is a Cancer. That's like when I was born. Then your moon, which is mine is an Aries. Your moon is like how you express your feelings and stuff, like your emotions. And then your rising is like your personality, like what you show to people. And mine's a Leo. So, you know, that's all like, you know.
So
that's,
you got 3 signs.
Yeah, those are like the 3 ones that are like most shown out, you know?
Yeah.
Because they're like you, basically. In a sense. Yeah. So.
I feel like it's a lot of work,
Derek just doesn't believe in this. Like he's like it's so.
I know.
It could apply to anybody.
Yeah, usually what I do is people, you know, when I go read the wrong one, and they be like, "Yep, that's me." I'm like, "Really? I thought you just said you were a Libra." Like, I do that on purpose. Like, I will read it, and I'll be like, "Oh, do you?" And then read it off. That should be funny.
No, because I feel like, you know, that's how I feel like guys are just like, you know, they don't believe in that stuff.
I wholeheartedly believe that I'm Scorpio through and through.
Yeah.
And I'm raising a Scorpio through and through.
Yeah.
And I know that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we're like this, because I'm like, shit your ass.
But that's cute though, you know.
He's always like, yeah, whatever. It's just because you guys are this or you guys are that. He doesn't.
Yeah.
Horoscopes, not so much, right?
Yeah.
Horoscopes, I feel like anybody's horoscope could apply
exactly.
To
like you're not gonna be $1 billion, you know, like stuff like that. Like, all right. So, but that one in itself, that's more like about you. Like every time I've showed people who's like, oh, I don't believe in that. Every time I've had them do it, they're like, wow, oh my god.
I've never done like the whole thing. Like I know I'm a Scorpio, I feel that in my bones, but I've never done like the moon and rising.
Yeah, so you have to put like the time you were born and where, and then that's how they do it, because it's based on where the stars were the time you were born, you know.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna see. You gonna take those off now or?
Oh, my fault.
I was waiting for that.
But yeah.
I wanna see.
And then like there's like 4 groups, right? So we're water. So water signs are Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Okay. So, you know, we're kind of like.
Did you say Aquarius?
No.
Pisces,
Did you say
Cancer,
water?
Scorpio.
Did you say water signs?
Yeah, no, you're an air sign.
Oh, I'm better.
You reacting so.
Oh no. Over here spilling liquor.
Cause you're like, oh, I'm better. That's what you get. Karma. Like, okay, like it was never a competition, but oh my god. But yeah, like we're like.
Good tequila too. Shit.
I know. See, refill.
So
party foul like a motherfucker.
And then I'm trying to think. What? What did you do it?
There's like a grid. I didn't do it. You're supposed to take something.
There's a test?
It's not a test. It's just you put.
So right here it says, I would go to Scorpio, and then my sun sign is a Gemini.
Can I see, please? Like what?
I don't know if that's the right one.
No. Let me pull it up for you, please, because
I can't find it.
I literally have the perfect one that I always use for my friends to do, because I'm like, guys.
I better not be no goddamn Gemini.
Oh my god, stop! It's not that bad.
What's wrong with Gemini?
I don't know.
I got 2 of them.
You know, a lot of people say they're the twins, like they're 2 people. So.
Oh, because James is the cutoff.
Right? Yeah, he's the 23rd of May.
Oh yeah.
And Corey's the 19th of June. So.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Dealing with split personalities and stuff.
It's just two people, you know. You know, that's it.
Literally, like.
I agree with that one.
Can you Derek? If Kaylee doesn't want that drink, can you bring it to me?
What drink?
The pink drink that's on the table.
Oh.
She ain't gonna drink it. I'll drink it. Wow, I can't believe he fucking spelled that right.
You got so like.
Because he always talks so much shit.
What is he?
He's a fucking Aquarius.
Oh, that makes sense. My best friend's an Aquarius though. Sonny. My best friend.
Sorry, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure this out. I want to figure it out.
Yeah, cause like my phone's like mad slow. I think
No,
something
it's fine.
you know. Okay.
I can Google it.
Yeah, you Google it. Okay. So, yeah. So that's the water one. The air is Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. So I think it's funny he's like talking about Geminis when it's like, but you're like with them. So, and then there's fire, which is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you know, you like into this? Like heavy?
Yeah. And then
Do you have to go through this daily? Yeah.
Yes.
watch your mouth.
What's your sign? I'm sure you know your sign.
Sagittarius.
Do you guys bounce off
Are
each
you
other?
in March?
No, that's
No.
late
No, that's like
November,
late
early
November.
December.
Kaylee's like around that area.
Oh, wait.
Around it. She's not. I think she's like the one before it.
What's our mom?
They're March. They're Aries, aren't they?
Aries.
Yeah.
My mom talks about it like here and there, like when we were growing up. But,
Oh, because Kaylee.
which ones like clash the most? Like which ones like personality wise or head, but you know like
Okay,
relationship
well,
wise.
not necessarily. I want to say that because I feel like, for example, like Scorpio and Aquarius, they'd be like, whoa, because like you're a water and he's an air sign, so they'd be like, why are you guys even together? But that's why
Yo, I
I
ask that shit almost every day, bro.
But okay, but you guys
Same.
have a baby, so
Right
how about
now-
we like?
Listen, at this point,
I hope you guys love each other at this point.
No,
like,
hey, listen, it's a business. It's a business.
it's
thing.
a business.
No,
Okay.
because listen, I've already invested too much time and money in the female. Why would I just walk away now?
Listen, as long as you continue to pay the bills and take out the goddamn trash, I ain't gonna say shit.
All right.
Wow.
The one breath, huh?
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
the trash.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? This is why I be wondering.
Wow. I'm just
Like,
like,
how y'all still together?
I'm gonna check you.
like, yeah. So, and then he's a Sagittarius, and then I'm a Cancer, so he's a fire and I'm a water.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that's like, you know, opposite. You know, fire signs are just like more like angry, like more like.
But so this is part of why you might actually like
Enneagrams?
Enneagrams, yeah.
What's that?
That it's a little more it's a personality test.
Mm-hmm.
And so that I feel like is more cheers. That I feel like is more like who you are as a person. Like I'm type 8.
Mm-hmm.
So type 8 and I'll explain it to you later. There's a whole test.
Yeah.
Type 8 is really like, you know, it's kind of like a Scorpio but a little more like blunt. Like I'm going to say what I'm going to say and it's what it is.
What does this mean?
He is
My
he
day
hasn't
is
taken the
Saturday?
test.
I be getting fucked up, that's why. Saturdays.
He hasn't taken the test, but I know for a fact he's type 3.
What the hell's
like,
a ruler?
No emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Anger is the only emotion that they show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all about him.
Mm-hmm.
It's me,
Guess
me,
it's the
me.
planets
Why
that
are
they
the
do.
planets on there,
but,
right?
like playing.
Question.
What?
So it says that, like, do you know what that stuff means? The ruler and all that?
Not the ruler.
I'll figure it out.
Oh yeah, those are the planets. Sorry,
You
sorry.
can live your life.
I'm sorry. I was like,
He was like, no, it's coming. It's coming.
I was like, okay, so those are the two planets that
So I need to go
run
get me a
you.
Leo or
So
something,
Uranus.
right?
All right. So
What's
Uranus. So listen, Uranus is like
Literally.
it's like your how you are. Like
I'm
you're very
still not mature enough
unconventional.
for that.
You're very unconventional. You know, like you're very
That's
like
fair.
different. Like I'm not following the crowd. Like I have to be my own person. Like and then Saturn, that's the like planet of like kind of karma, kind of like bad luck a little bit sometimes. You know.
I'll be out here.
Yeah, you know.
He be helping.
So yeah.
Okay, I got, like, that. I feel like that whole realm
Yeah.
is for females.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
A
think
man said,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It is.
No, but listen.
It is though.
The reason-
It is though.
I don't know.
because you know they don't even care. You know they don't care about none of that feeling
But-
stuff. But we be knowing like, yeah, that's you though.
And
like,
I say this all the time, right?
She said, you know you don't be caring.
I say this all the time. I'm always like, we always need an answer, right?
yeah.
So if you act in a certain way and we can't pinpoint it, oh, it's because you're an Aquarius. I don't give a fuck. We need something.
You're mad rude.
That's what it is. I'm always.
No, but yeah, Aquarius are very like, no feelings, very detached. You know, they've already like they have feelings, but it's like to themselves in their head. Like you wouldn't, like you can't tell what's like going on.
So,
you know?
so I'm a Sagittarius,
That's
right?
just blurry on every
What's the
cut.
difference between a Sagittarius boy and a Sagittarius girl?
Oh, that's a fair question.
Okay,
There's a difference.
so all right,
There's a difference.
so I
They
feel
had
like
hormones and stuff. That's why it's different.
well, no, too. There's November Sages and December Sages, so those are two different people too.
Well, what's the difference between a
Everybody's
November
a different
Sag
person.
boy and a November Sag girl?
Okay, so you're the only November Sag boy I know, and then
Yeah.
my aunt's a November Sag girl. So and my cousin. So I say the girls really crazy, like in your face impulse, like oh my god, you know.
You just described half of my family. I'm pretty sure you also described a good amount of yours.
Oh,
Yes?
okay.
Fair? Was that fair?
Derek just likes to say that.
Yeah,
all
he's saying
females
like you're
are
being very
crazy.
broad. Yeah,
It's broad. That's what that whole thing is. That's like reading a fortune cookie.
I don't
Hey,
know.
sometimes they be on point.
I don't know.
Yeah. Today you will breathe. Oh shit, yo, how'd you know?
I was breathing.
I just feel like,
That's
I just
crazy.
feel like too. It's not like I'm sitting here like over here like taking little notes, observing. You know.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I just noticed like similar like things. Like it's not like I'm not like like picking the brain. You know, like it's just these are like similar things you guys have. Like you know.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I get it though. Yeah, that's like my whole family too. Hello.
Right. Yeah.
So
I was like, I wanted to say more so you describe like damn near the majority of black and like inner city families.
wow.
Because that's how we're all vivacious people. Yes or no? We're all vivacious and we're in your face kind of deal and like, we're ready to have the good time no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, you could say that, but then like you just described the majority of like, you said it to somebody, you described half their family. Like they're gonna feel like, oh, I know family members that are like that who aren't whatever sign.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why I keep saying somewhat like
that goes
super
into
generalized.
that goes into their maybe it's their son.
Because that's what I'm saying though. Like I can't
They're
categorize all of them though. 'Cause remember with the rising and stuff, like you know, I can't just. That's why I said I just base it off like certain like
pieces of it.
yeah,
I'm with you.
certain like
Yeah.
emotions.
Would you check like? Do you check yours like somewhat on the regular?
No, like I don't check like a everyday type thing because like sometimes like it's like I don't be understanding like what it's saying.
Yeah. You're like, what?
So yeah, so that's why like the moon rising and the sun, it's like that doesn't change. So it's like okay, I know what this is.
Yeah.
That's it. You know.
So did it tell you things about like when it's like a day of good luck or bad luck or you should do this or avoid that? Like
Well, there's
super
apps. So like it'll say like like try to work on like emotion, like not basically like you're gonna walk out and like the horoscope stuff, like all right, like it's more like try to work on like communication, try to work on like
what's the difference, bro? Horoscope is what?
it's more like that
horoscope is based on
you're gonna meet the love of your life today, like that stuff.
Or you should-
Yeah.
Yeah,
That had
it's
nothing to do with your sign.
No.
They use like
So
your
how the hell-
Scorpio
Yeah,
and
like when
stuff,
I feel like
it's
when we were
different.
younger, that was what they were showing us. But then I feel like because
Bro,
you're like
yo, I think I might have been mixing these shits up, bro. The whole time.
yeah.
But even then, I still poke holes in the other one.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna ask you something before we went on that little tangent.
She follows her sign.
Oh, you brought up the whole thing about meeting your significant other or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you believe in soulmates? I find
Well-
myself asking people this a lot more.
But like, what does that like mean?
Go ahead.
Like, what does that mean? Like,
What does what mean?
soulmates.
So the definition or the way that people who want love, that forever love story find, is that there is somebody on this earth, somebody that is placed there to complete you. What if this somebody is in Tanzania and you're in the United States? Who's to say you're ever gonna meet them? So when you don't meet them, that's just the plan that was intended for you. So why would someone, whoever the great creator is, I don't like to use the concept of God and things like that, but why would they do that to two people who could potentially be great people? You know what I mean? But at the same time, like that's why, like when I was younger, I was like, people do what they're gonna do, right? And the more I got older, and the more I experienced different feelings and whatever with whoever, be it a relationship or just dealing with the person, I was like, there's no real difference between the emotions or exchanges. The only thing that might be a little different is like the physicality to it, like how much you guys do or whatever, right? Now, like to feel that somebody else there's supposed to be one person on this planet that's just supposed to get you and make everything feel right. That right there is like, shit. I don't give a fuck about that. It's just like buying into religion wholeheartedly and not asking questions, right?
Yeah.
That's what that is. You just accept it because someone told you it.
Yep.
I don't believe in the whole, what do you call it? Forever love. Well, I mean, you could build your forever love story, but I don't think it's like already
like
there for you,
yeah.
pre-made, and once you guys connect, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Nothing in life just
You have to work
happens
for it.
in the sense of, oh, because you found this, we're gonna apply it. There you go. No, it never happens that way. Even if you attain everything you worked for, you still got to continue to work to make that shit work, right? Like to make it like succeed.
Yeah.
So you'll never just be able to be like, oh, I found my soulmate. We're gonna be in love forever and don't have to worry about it. I feel like it's more like there are people put on this planet, or personalities put on this planet, because if you say people, then you gender lock, which I don't think that works for everybody, right? Like I believe in like people who want to love whatever or whoever, but I don't think for a lot of people it applies that your gender matters for a lot of people. But on my end, I think it's like there's people that are placed, like for me too, like some of my homies, I feel like I was supposed to, like the way, like meeting certain people, you're like, damn, like, you know, this person helped me through whatever tough struggle or whatever. Say you didn't meet that person, how do you get through that tough time? Or how do you get through that incident? Same thing with like your significant others. You know, people's personalities are what make you drawn to them or make things work, right? And I feel we kind of overindulge in the love part of it overall. You know what I mean? When it comes to like the opposite
The
sex
fantasy?
or whoever you're into, kind of, it's like we want that. Oh,
Fantasy
you know,
love story.
right? Super passionate and this, that, and the third.
Happily
No,
ever after.
what you do is you find somebody who you can rock out with and you make it work, right?
Yeah.
You know, just be as honest as we can. I'm not trying to like crush y'all young minds and things like that. Like
No.
you found your girl, you found your soulmate. Come on now.
Alright. Wait, so like I'm confused. So like were you asking me a question?
Yeah.
Or,
Like,
we
do
were
you feel like the
Okay.
soulmate thing is like a
Okay. Honestly, I feel like no, because I feel like, you know, like you said, like you still have to like keep working on it. Like it's not like you guys are together and like everything's great, you know. There's always gonna be like ups and downs, and I feel like love in general it comes with risk, you know, because like you don't know what could happen tomorrow, you know.
right? That's
So you know,
Exactly.
I don't know. I just don't think of it like that. I just think of it more like, you know, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Like, you know, just work
Do
it.
you believe that saying everything happens for a reason?
Yeah, just like not like good things come to an end. Like it's not always gonna be great.
Right.
Yeah.
So you think that there's a motive or meaning behind everything that happens in people's lives?
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be like bad. Like what if like I got sick, right? You know, and like I passed. Like that doesn't necessarily have to be something so bad. Like it's like my immune system couldn't handle it, you know.
Yeah, not gonna answer.
Yeah, sorry.
You're not gonna
You know,
answer that one.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to give it like an example.
Are we getting all crazy messages by grandma? What the hell you got my baby saying?
Stop.
Huh?
No, I'm just
No, I
saying,
get
you
you.
know.
I get you. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like isn't that the point of love though? Like you're gonna love them, you know, until death do us part. Like the whole.
Oh shit, you talking marriage and shit? Oh, never
No,
mind.
I'm just saying that part. Like, isn't it like
I
that?
instantly started sweating and shit. Like what?
Whoa! No,
man.
I'm just saying like that.
I'm
Like,
with you.
yeah,
Is marriage in your cards? Like, is that something you want?
yeah.
And you, oh, look at that smile. Okay, girl. Stop it. Okay.
What?
No, just in general.
Stop it.
No, I mean, I know personally, like for me, it's like marriage isn't as big for like a lot of people. We share a child. Like that's bigger for me. We share a person, a human, like a life that we gotta nurture and nourish and teach. You know what I mean? Like that's bigger than a piece of paper. I'm sorry to say it like that, but for me, that's what it falls to. And if anything, it's like more so my actions and whatnot should show you that I want or I love you or want to be with you more than just because I have a ring. Because you know, even with the ring, things can happen, and even without it, things can happen. You know what I mean? That's just me being logical and realistic. I'm not trying to shit on nobody or nothing, right?
See,
I'm all
such
for
an
marriage.
intellectual. See, Aquarius always gotta be intellectual. Gotta like dig into the. I don't know, but I think that
No, I'm just speaking of
philosophers. You guys should be philosophers.
My parents didn't get married until I was about 17. So I saw both sides of it. They were happy and had their struggle without marriage, and they were happy had their struggle with marriage. You know what I mean? The only thing that was constant was that there was a struggle, and they had their kids to worry about. That's the only constant. So it's like that's why I don't want like a lot of kids. Like my parents having 5 boys, I was good. I'm like no.
Those were the days.
We got the
My
one.
big
I'm like I'm good. We got
My
the one.
big
I'm
bros.
good.
Oh my god.
But
I want one more.
huh? We got
One
adopt
more.
one, I guess. eventually.
I know you want to give birth. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh
She
my
already
god.
popped one up. Under 12 minutes, bro.
Listen.
I was like, yo, we in here for a reason. Let's get it done. I was like, I'll turn football coach real quick.
But that's the thing with birth is like, if you go in complaining, it's gonna feel worse. It's gonna hurt. It's painful. You know that. But you know at the end of it, you get your kid and you get food. And that's it.
Yeah, she got the big ass burrito at the end.
Oh, I'll get seafood. I get a seafood platter. Like, links up in my face. I love seafood.
Okay, so, you know, do you have any questions you want to ask her, or can I kind of like take it away a little bit?
Listen, I told you to sit here.
No, I'm asking you. Like, if you have something to ask her, go ahead, and I'll just ask after you ask.
No, I had a question to ask,
Just throw it out
and I
there.
almost no.
Just throw it out
It
there.
was last night, and I was gonna write
It's
it
about
down. and I
Beyonce?
forgot.
Just ask her.
No.
Ask her.
No. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
I don't know. You're saying something about the devil or something.
No.
No,
Whatever.
okay. Okay, so we're gonna dive a little bit into like the social aspect of things, kind of where we stand as a people.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like as a black woman, like we all know that the struggle is going on amongst a certain group of people right now? What's happening?
I think she's trying to get us.
I don't need the mic.
You're gonna share it. You're gonna be like, I really should have used the mic.
Hold on, guys.
The audio is not correct.
Look, she done took the mic off the goddamn thing and everything.
I thought it was locked in. It was not.
What was on this?
Yeah.
I never locked them in. Take them out. Okay.
There you go. Merry Christmas.
All right, guys. So, do you feel like that there's this like a difference in the disparity of what black men face in America and what black women face in America?
Yeah, but I still feel like we all go through the struggle still, you know?
Yeah.
Like I feel like with black guys, it's like more like law enforcement and stuff. And then with black women, it's like doctors, like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the doctor thing is spread across the community. More so because, like, and I never really realized this until I had a conversation with a friend of mine, just sitting around eating, and he threw it out there. It was like, tell me the last time you went to your doctor, or tell me the last time you saw a doctor of color.
Oh, yeah. Guys don't like doctors.
But like you said, I think it's a thing that kind of got passed along, is that like you know, you can't really trust overall the way modern medicine's working.
Authority.
Because think about when they first started talking about like the vaccine for COVID.
Mm-hmm.
What did they say? We think the majority should be the black community to get the vaccine first. Why the hell would we go and get it first when you don't even know if it's gonna work or what
like
it's gonna
the
do?
syphilis.
But the syphilis thing was completely different. They intentionally injected black people with syphilis to try and find the cure for it. Whereas with the COVID thing, they're like, we have a vaccine, we're not sure if it's going to work on people, we haven't entered human trials all the way. We'd like for the black community to go first. And I'm like, why would we go first when we don't make up the majority of the population? You know what I mean? The majority of the population would be white. So that's who should be the first ones. Obviously, you go with like healthcare workers and things like that, but other than that, if you talk of regular Joe Schmoes, it should be the white community to go first because they fill up more of the surface area in the United States. So, like, you know, I'm glad you actually mentioned that you know, like the whole distrust of, or not distrust, but like that like stigma in the black community for modern medicine. And I think it's like two different, like, it's the same argument, but two different like perspectives or sides. Because like you said, we don't trust them in the sense that, you know, we don't know. Like, you can go in for like an arm ache, and next thing you know, they're like, oh yeah, you got severe whatever disease. But with women, most of the time, for black women, it's with birth.
Yeah, it is.
With birth is
they be having a problem.
It's insane.
They're like, something's wrong. They're like, nah, and then like they go into septic shock and die.
Yep.
It's insane. But
like,
why is that not helping? Why does that not happen to their counterpart?
The discrepancy in the amount of C-sections. So the statistics, let's say, with black women going into birth, saying like birth plans and everything, saying that they want a natural birth, ending up in an emergency C-section with they have no say in, and then end up dying from that emergency C-section. It's like the statistics are ridiculous compared to white women.
White counterpart is what I call it.
White women
in conversation. No, because it's literally when you're doing it, it's one and the other. So it's they're counterparts. You know, it's not a matter of just white women. You're talking about, this is the statistic for black women. They're white counterpart. Just because if you talk about Asian women, this is the Asian counterpart. It's based off the two parties as a whole.
But isn't it the same as
no, saying
black women and black black women and white women. Same.
Go ahead.
No?
Sure.
Here we go with the intellectualism.
I was
Here we go with the correction.
Sure. That's true.
They have to correct if they feel like it doesn't sound right.
Who's they?
The intellectuals.
Oh, I thought you talked about Aquarius
Black
before.
men Aquariuses.
I don't think.
Oh.
Oh, we go. We
Oh.
going down over there.
Wow.
She's like,
I just said the intellectual, like.
So right. You're working in the
At the
medical
hospital.
in the medical field.
Yeah.
Really. How's that been overall?
It's good, you know. It's like sad, like when people die and stuff, you know. I don't know. It's kind of like a bittersweet job.
How close are you to like that like aspect of it?
What do you mean?
Like the part of like the loss of life and things like that.
Like how close am I? Like, do I believe like when they die, like they're
No, as in
But,
like
are
where are
actively
you
working with
perspective
them, or are
wise?
you-
Oh, well, yeah. I work at the front desk in the emergency department.
Oh,
so,
gosh. Oh,
yeah, I
oh,
work at the
gosh.
emergency department. So, people be coming in, like you know,
Yeah.
you gotta, like,
He
you
on
know,
his way out.
and I hate to be like, I need COVID exposure symptoms, and they're over here, like hurting in pain, or like, oh, I just need you to pure your hands and change your mask, like, or like, you know, and they're like, well, I just put this one on, and it's like, I know, but it's contaminated,
Got to
sorry,
go, my
like,
guy.
you
Yeah.
know, like, or if it's like, their doctor's calling, you know, they're like, oh, I should be seen right away, right? I'm like,
No.
this isn't an appointment type based thing. This is the emergency department.
Oh,
so,
they're just walking in.
yeah, I'm like,
I had a grade two sprain, ankle sprain,
Mhm.
and I literally sat there throughout the whole Patriots game, and then like half of the second game. So
We
that's
were
almost
there.
like 6
We
almost
were
8 hours.
there for almost 6 hours waiting. in
the wait time is 4 to 8 hours.
So the reason I wasn't mad is because a dude who had gotten his head bashed in, and he got like literally was leaking, was also sitting there and got called in right before I did. And I was like, if this guy gets called in after me, then I'm gonna be like, dang, that's messed up. But like they called him just before they called me, and I was like, this dude's literally like actively leaking blood out of his head. And he's still sitting and waiting. Like, what's... You know, the elderly went before him. I'm like, this man could have, like, something severely, like, you know, severed or cut, and y'all are just like,
Yeah.
you're fine. Like, because, I mean, I get triage, like, they go and check it first, right? But, like, who... Yeah, I don't know, man. It was just, like...
Crazy.
Seeing him, like, as bad as he was, I was like, you know, mine ain't that serious.
Yeah.
Even if it was broken, it's not that serious
Yeah.
compared to what he was just dealing with.
It's based off acuity. So, like
What?
for example, acuity, like,
Mhm.
so, you know, we have, like, a number scale. So, like, 1 being, you know, like, he's leaking blood. And, like, 3, 4 being, like, oh, like, your thing's messed up. Like, you're okay. You're not, like, you know, like,
Yeah.
you're not shot or something or bleeding an artery. Like, you know, you
We
know.
could possibly lose this
Based on
one.
severity.
You go first.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, so it's kind of like, it's based like that. And then, like, you know, it's just a lot of times people die from like heart attacks. It's like really like surprising. Like, you know, young people too, like 23. Like, I'm just like, wow.
Oh, wow.
Like,
You know what it is?
drugs.
See what it on them pills, man.
I heard there's like a thing, like a fentanyl cake thing
that's-
out there.
Fentanyl cake.
Yeah, like they be lacing it and everything
Oh yeah, I
now.
know they lace it, but
Yeah.
fentanyl's so dangerous, bro. Even touching it is.
They like put that shit in Twinkies. And
Yeah.
Oh, they're bugging, bro.
Like, people come in, like, young, like, around my age, like, just, like, you tell they're, like,
Twisted.
hallucinating, and they're like, oh, I just had an edible, or I just smoked. We're like,
That's more than just
like,
an
because, you
edible.
know, they all be like, all right, like, we all have our shares.
She's like an edible of what though?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, you know. And then, like, I just, like, it's just so funny having my mask, because I'm like, if people really see, like, my face when they tell me stuff, like, they probably be like, are you
you have to know your eyes say it all.
yeah.
No, just talking to you right now, your eyes say it all. Like, you be sitting there judging the hell out of them. They're like, yeah, you know, I swear I'm not tripping on anything. Right.
No.
You're like, oh, okay, I'll help you.
No, I don't know. And then you just see so many things, and it's just like, oh my god, what the heck? Well, you gotta be like,
Right.
like.
Right.
But that's what, so if you can do that,
Mhm.
early intervention is easy.
You think?
Easy.
Cause like I just love the babies, like seeing them like hurt and stuff, like that really
But
hurts
no.
me.
So we don't do. Well, okay, you can do early intervention in a hospital. That's a little different, because then you see a lot more sick kids and stuff.
Mhm.
A lot of the stuff that I do, you have kids with, you know, Down syndrome, autism. You have kids that are sick. You have kids with G tubes, NG tubes. You have kids that, you know, cancer, like you have kids like that. But you also just have kids that have speech delays or need help walking. Like you have those kids as well, so it's not all about like, you know, sick kids.
Yeah.
You know, unless you're in a hospital, then of course that's why they're in the hospital or something. But you know, you do form bonds with them. You do form bonds with their families, and you know, sometimes that's hard. But it's not something of ever being like worried that you're gonna lose them. You know what I mean? It's more of like, okay, he's turning 3. You know, we're done with services. I probably not supposed to, but I always stay in touch with them because like, especially if you're with a family for 3 to 5 years. Yeah. Like 3 years for this kid, 3 years for that kid. How you just gonna be like, bye?
I know, right? I know. I always say that. Like, I can't do that. Like, I can't just be like, oh, whatever. Yeah. You know, obviously, it would be nothing more than like, hey, just hope things are going well. You know, because you can't be like, oh, let's go to lunch. Because then it's like, all right, you know. Yeah. But I feel like, why can't you do that? I mean.
Yeah. I mean, once like, I have a family that I'm still in contact with. We've still like hung out here and there because I helped diagnose her kid. He was the first kid that I've ever helped diagnose with autism when I started working here. And so we're still hanging out. She had another baby. She sent me all the stuff. Like, you know, it is.
Well, that's what I mean. If it's like they're done, like, I just don't understand why it's like that. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's like kind of unfair to us because it's like we're basically becoming a part of it, and then you're like, all right. Yeah, bye.
And I think, you know, like, especially for us, we're in their homes. Like, we're chilling with them all day long, you know.
Like, so it's like that. Okay, I'm thinking, like, it's like a program or something. Like, no, you know, I'm thinking it's like I'm going there, like, taking their kids away. No, like, that's no, I was like, I can't do that type of social work. Like, that would kill me.
So like, the social workers that work with us is more of, like, you know, the mental health counseling kind of stuff. So, like, if I have a young mom that, you know, needs a little more support and some resources, I'll pull in a social worker to help me out. You know, she'll still do some stuff with the kid, but she'll also have her own caseload. But she's more there as like support, just a different lens that I might not have because I'm a developmental specialist, so I look at the whole development, and she's focused on like the mental health of the parents, you know, how the kid is doing in this situation, and I'm more so like, kid's walking, we're good, and she's like, mom's on drugs, and I'm like, I saw that, but you know. Oh my God. So it's really like, that's kind of what it is.
You're like, yeah, I know that, but I was like, that's kind of my pay grade. Sorry.
But and the other thing too is like, you do have to file. Like, we do have to, if we do see a family on drugs, we do see, you know, a family abusing the kids or whatever it might be, domestic violence, we have to file. So we have to call DCF and make a whole report. Like, that is also part of our job as being a mandated reporter, but you're a mandated reporter in the hospital. So it's not something that you're not used to. It's just a new level because now it's solely about the kid. Yeah. And a lot of times they do not get taken away. Even if they should be taken away, they do not get taken away. Just saying.
Do you feel like that's more based? Do you feel like that more happens to kids that are from minorities or like Caucasians?
What, that they get filed? Because
I feel like the Gabriel Hernandez. Like, I didn't watch it because I'm sorry. Oh no. I've heard enough about it, but like there's literally pictures where he's in school, black eye, all that, and nobody's like, oh, everyone's just like, oh.
I don't see it.
Probably just wrestling with his brother, you know. You know, like.
But that and we've talked about it a lot too. Like, even in our job is DCF. They are overpopulated with kids.
I believe it.
A majority of the kids are from low income, you know, families. The inner city, so like sad. That's what it is. But they also don't do their job. You know, so they're logging, and it's been happening. They're logging all of this stuff. Not all DCF programs. Let me just put that out there. But, you know, the one, specifically the one that I'm working with.
The one I work at, we do it right.
They'll be like,
report. Yeah, like, like, there have been times, like, I've called, I've filed crickets from DCF.
You want another one? What are you telling?
Yeah, sure.
Don't get me in trouble on here, man.
What do you mean get you in trouble?
Grandma's watching.
Okay, I'm 21 though.
I'm not trying to argue. I'm just saying, listen.
That's his thing. I'm not trying to argue. He said it like 10 times to you. I'm like, alright, like, who said you trying to argue? I'm just saying something.
He does it all the time.
No, we're just saying something.
Right.
Like, take out the trash.
Because you always gotta be right.
Take out the trash.
Yo, can I ask you a question? I got something.
All right, let's go. Let's
Yo,
switch this up.
How many times would it be a conversation for you? But to her, it's an argument, right? Hold on. Don't even start because you about to jump in. Ready? And you say your part, she says her part. You take in what she said and you accept it. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
And you got in your head, you're like, I understand. I got you, right? And she's all like, but you ain't hearing me. You're like, whoa. It's not a matter of right or wrong. You said what you had to say. I said what I had to say. Let's take that in and walk away from this. So you turn into an argument, but to him, y'all just talking. Mm-hmm. What's your move when that happens? Right, there you go.
Can't really do anything.
I ain't trying to argue. There you go. There you go. I ain't trying to argue. What you want for dinner? I don't know. Why you always ask? I ain't trying to argue. I just trying to feed you. Oh, stop it.
He's so sad.
No, he's not seeing nobody. Go ahead.
She's sleeping?
No, she's not there playing.
Oh.
He wants to be in here.
She don't fall asleep, man. We gotta argue with her to go to sleep.
Oh, that's cute.
What's that? FOMO?
FOMO, fear of missing out.
Bro, I never knew about that until like 3 years ago.
I remember that though. Remember?
She was 2, and her aunt said it. I'm like,
like we hear basketball in the backyard. Be like, oh, we going outside, mom. We going outside. The boys outside. Like running downstairs. Like, Kiki, we going outside. Let's go. Like, so funny.
Yeah, but you know. That's why I keep saying, like, that's I want to get back to that, and like that's the like that's where America or like any country will thrive when you have people amongst like the community working together and taking care of each other. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like I don't know what the disconnect is other than obviously we know government, but like where amongst the people, like everybody was living together, working together throughout all these other presidencies. So where did the divide or split happen? You know?
I mean, that whole Capitol thing was like, so that was in itself just was like, I don't know.
We'll wait on that one. Let's see how many heads roll. Let's see.
Okay. Because I mean, I don't know. I feel like it was only that one. Like, because I don't know. Like, when I was a kid, probably I didn't ever really realize it. But like, I just feel like every other presidency, like you said, has been like. Now I feel like now it's like the hate and stuff is more like in your face. Like it's like, oh, okay, like I can say it now. Like it doesn't matter. Like, well, I don't know.
Do you think that's a Trump thing? Like that's why?
No, not Trump, but just in general. Like I feel like nowadays, like you say, I like green. Oh well, I think green's offensive. Like it's just like nowadays, everyone's just like always trying to like.
That's social media.
It's like
that's what that is. Like so you like people who do.
But it's like now in real life, like it's coming into the real world. Like, it's not on social media no more. Like, it's like
social media was the end for it. You know what I mean? Because like you have a right to your opinion. You state your opinion, and social media got people's head twisted that they think
they can.
My opinion matters more. Your opinion will get you fucked up. That's what it is.
But the First Amendment is freedom of speech, so that's why they're kind of like, well,
freedom of speech in the press or any kind of a statement. But if you say that shit in the street one-on-one to a person, good luck.
I don't know.
That's why I say social media got everybody's head twisted. It's like, remember what you say can get you punched in the face. A lot of these people who are keyboard warriors or whatever people want to call them, how many of them really kick that in person to the people they're talking about? Nobody. Because if they did, you would hear all type of, retaliations or fights that broke out. You don't hear it. You got every right to say what you say, but everybody has a right to react to what and how you say stuff. You know what I mean? And that's where I think, like you said, like the social media thing, I think is really starting to leak into like everyday life. As in like these people, like you said, oh, I like green. Well, I don't really like green. It upsets me. I'm sorry. Like, live your life.
Yeah, like it's just always like.
What's up? You gotta close the door. Skull out.
It's just I don't know.
No jumping, no boy.
Yeah. Come on. Out.
He's good with pads.
Like I like him.
He's good with pads.
We got too much electronics over there. Oh my god.
All right. You gotta go out.
Come on. Hey, in. Let's go.
Go get Kaylee. Get him. Go get Kaylee.
Hey. We're good.
He's like, who's this? He's like, who's this? Who's this? He's like, who's this? Who's this?
Come in. You hear me, boy. Come on. Get up.
That tail. Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know. It's just like a whole thing. Like, I don't know. I just feel like.
Everyone's just so sensitive.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know. I feel like before, like, it's like, people made a statement. All right, whatever. Keep going on about your life, because it's like at the end of the day, like, how is it affecting you?
Yeah, but it's okay to have. Hold on, let me finish this shit before it falls on me again. It's okay to have a different opinion. That's
Yeah.
fine. You can have a different opinion.
We could agree to disagree.
But you can't be like, you know, oh, I like the color green. Well, green offends me. No, bitch. What's your favorite color? Like, that's all I need from this.
Yeah, I just feel like that's the
I
thing.
don't
Like,
like green,
everyone's
I like
offended.
purple. Like,
I just feel like everyone's like offended about everything, and you're not even saying anything offensive. It's like, you know, I don't know.
You know, there's a lot of soft people in the world now, and if I think it definitely has everything to do with social media. People were able to say and do whatever the hell they wanted to.
Yeah.
And there's no repercussions because a lot of the times the people that are talking shit or saying whatever are in a whole nother state. You're never gonna see them.
Mm-hmm.
So they can do and say whatever they want. And there's no consequences to that ever. And that's why you have people now.
Yeah.
No, man. What?
I have to use the restroom.
No bathroom breaks, bro.
I won't make it. Don't drop it again.
It's closed. What? Get out of here.
Oh, I almost. Ellie, open.
I'll just take the seat, cause.
Please do. Move the mic.
Thanks, boss.
No worries.
Alright, so what are you guys talking about? So I can just kind of jump in. I know you guys are talking about like work and stuff, how to do that.
What was it? Oh my god, I'm trying to blank.
That's fine.
About social media and people.
Oh yeah,
having opinions.
Right.
about how like she said like because it kept happening on social media for so long, no repercussions because that person's in another state. I mean, what can they do about it?
Right.
Now it's just like, all right, like whatever, we can do it out. We can do it in the real world. Like who cares? Like.
Well, yeah. With the whole, I don't know. I just feel like the whole aspect of like people who talk smack on social media is like really a sign of weakness.
Oh yeah.
Because if you really mean what you say, you kind of say it all around and keep it the same energy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just trying to fix this a little better so it's not. Me personally, right? I'm glad I had you guys on because now I have like two relatively young people. Women age different than guys. It's a thing. So what I want to ask you guys, and it's going to be more on like, kind of like what the black community is facing, right? So or inner city community, because I don't like to just say just the black because it's like when the way that they being whoever the power that be is, right? The way they categorize is like where you're from, right? So if you're from an affluential area, they're more accepting of you. So it doesn't matter, like, really too much. I mean, race does play a part leading up to no matter what, right? Because even now, look at LeBron James. He brushes elbows with some of the richest and still is told to shut up and dribble on news. You know what I mean? Like, so even then, race does play a part, right? So what kind of, like, major things do you feel like the black community is facing right now? Like the youth, I should say. Like, what do you think the youth is facing?
I feel like kind of like a crisis, because I feel like if you look back to like, I don't want to say like our parents, because our parents are different ages, but like I don't know, even like maybe my mom, like I just feel like
you calling my parents mad old?
No, I'm not calling her mad old.
I heard it. Yeah,
I'm not. Your mom loves me. I'm her first princess, so mind your business. I'll always be her princess. Yeah. Anyways, no, I just mean it more like we can't like afford like the life like that they live. Like, not saying it was like lavish, but just like just simple grocery shopping or getting an apartment. Like, and like gentrification is like so real everywhere. Yeah. Like Revere is literally like.
Well, Chelsea's about to be insane.
There's literally like hotel.
Yep, and then everything else is a skyrise.
Apartment. Revere. I'm like I don't even like recognize this place.
So the whole gentrification thing, like if you think about it, look at what they're getting. This is turning into New York, basically.
Yeah.
It's like a 1-bedroom for almost $2,400. Like what?
It's real bad in Boston.
But like, at least show me something that makes sense that the price is whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like some sort of like what do you call that? Like amenities around, like like be it like nice park and shit. Like, y'all don't even have that shit. Yeah, and you want me to pay extra premium out here? You know what I mean? But like in New York, the same thing. It's like it'll be like a shithole, but you're paying, basically almost three weeks or 3 checks worth for your rent. Like that's insane. And Mass, to me, I don't think there's nothing worth it. Like there's no spot or place in no city to live that's worth anywhere near. I don't know. For me, I think the max should be like 1,800, 1,900 max anywhere, and that's like 2-3 bedroom. You know, because like Mass doesn't have a lot of that, you know, fun out and about bullshit.
Yeah,
you know
we
what I
really
mean?
don't.
No, the most we have is like nightclubs, and that's downtown Boston. So
Yeah,
you
I feel like,
premium.
downtown Boston is where everything's at.
That's it.
You know?
Really, like any of the other cities outside, like you might got like a walking trail or something.
No, I think we're cute because we have like those what are those little maze games where it's like if you mess up you gotta start over.
Oh,
that's why
yeah,
we
yeah.
think we're so high,
That's,
man. I don't know
escape
what
room
it's
or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
I never done one of those, bro.
I want to do one.
Yeah.
It sounds so fun, but I feel like
I want to do like a scary one if I do it, like cause like you're under pressure, like everybody's gonna be freaking out and shit. Like I think that's the way to go.
I don't know. I think that'll freak me out, especially if I do a mask. I'm gonna be like breathing crazy.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you don't do your best work under pressure.
What?
Think about it. You be nervous as hell. You know they ain't gonna kill you, but you be like, oh shit, they gonna come though. You know what I mean? So you gonna work a little faster.
Well, we went to a haunted house thing in October.
I don't remember.
And we had to wear our masks, and I was like super nervous because I was like, I'm gonna die.
I'm gonna pass out.
And it wasn't that bad, but it was nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys touched on this yet. We'll piggyback back onto like the black or the inner city situation and conversation in a little bit, but your YouTube channel is called Living
the Life with Niyaaa.
And you're also doing you're doing apparel too. Like, so is that apparel like a lifestyle apparel or streetwear? Like, what's your
I don't know, you know, I came up with the shirt design just cause like this girl I know, like she would like do them like with her iPad mini. She had like the pen and stuff.
Yeah.
And like it wasn't like, you know, like the one where like you pay, like no. So I knew her from the movies. We used to work there together, whatever. And I was like, hey, you mind doing this for me? She's like, yeah. So we kind of like lost contact for like a couple weeks, and she's like, I literally lost my pen. I just found it, and she didn't charge me because at first I was gonna like, you know, I was gonna be like,
yeah,
you know, like. So then after she did it, I was like, oh my god, like I just loved it. It just looked so cute. So I'm like, I should put this on a shirt, you know. So that's how I came up with the idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looked good too.
You know, obviously, like, you know, with brands and things like that, because you're looking to make it a brand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Different things. You've done masks, you've done shirts.
Yeah.
You know, branch out to sweaters and all that kind of stuff too. But because once you put it on a shirt, you can put it on anything else. You know what I mean? But would you want, like, where do you see it going in like the next 5 years?
Well, okay, so right now I have 246 subscribers. I started July 6th. That's my first video, July 6th, 2020. So, I mean, I want to get, like, more fan base, like around, like, 500 to, like, let out another merch idea.
Okay.
Just because, like, I already have a website and everything,
Yeah.
you know, and I put, like, my videos up there. I do giveaways and stuff, you know, but, like, YouTube's, like, very competitive, you know. There's, like, all different types of things.
Yeah.
People's always watching, you know. But, I don't know. It's, like, fun. Like, it's, like, really fun and exciting because, like, I've always wanted to do YouTube, like, since high school. But, like, you know, I never had, like, the stuff. Like, you know, I'm like, you know, just a dream, whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's just, like, now everybody in COVID's doing YouTube. And I'm, like, so annoyed. Because I'm, like, y'all think this is child's play? Like, this is not child's play. Like, you have to be funny to make YouTube. Yeah. Like, you're, like, this isn't just we're gonna sit here and, like, no. Like, it's just, like.
Some of them should be like that, bro. Some of them, and they be getting millions of
Yeah,
views,
but,
bro. What's that, the makeup shit and all that? You ever see that?
Yeah.
That like, old niche.
Yeah,
crazy.
but.
They just all be.
A lot of people would just sit there and eat.
See, now I think that's fine. That's what you get. You gotta figure. That's what I'm saying. Figure that shit out. You get to eat and have a good time.
Yeah.
Okay,
man,
but
give me the chicken.
It's
Give me the
still
wings.
like
Give me
it
the
takes
wings, bro.
time though. Like it still takes time, you know. Like I don't know. I just feel like people think it annoys me more because I feel like people think it's easy. Like it's like I'm gonna hit like 1,000 because like everyone wants to be monetized and you have to hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Like it's not just about like I have 50 people on like you know like or the views. You know like the views add to the watch time, but still it's all about watch time hours. Like how many minutes in the video.
I would tell you be careful on getting like you know obviously like you know you need the numbers and whatnot like, of like the concurrent viewers and whatnot and obviously the watch time will come over time, right? But I would say be careful on getting caught up with the numbers because when you get caught up with the numbers and say you do get monetized, it's not a matter of the concurrent viewership or subscribers. It's more so the comments and likes that is what gonna get you your money because that will give you the it's called AdSense to run ads. And that's why, like for us, we're holding back on getting like pushing through to monetize, because we hit the watch time and all that like super early, and you know, they offered us to monetize our videos from that point on. But I was just like, it's really not worth trying to monetize in the sense that we don't know exactly where we're taking this channel yet. You know what I mean? We knew we're going to post the podcast and stuff like that, but now we branched out into like doing snack crates and things like that. So like with your content and whatnot, where you do like, you know, lifestyle or everyday life kind of deal, it'll work. It'll be great. And how often do you upload? It's like
at least like once a week, every other week.
So
at least 2 videos, 2 or 3 videos a month.
Okay. Yeah. So and that's the thing is like I forgot, I was watching like this, you know, some guy talking about like statistics and stuff. He was saying even if you update or upload regularly, you know, you're not guaranteed that your numbers are gonna bounce more. You might be in the algorithm a little more, but that doesn't mean you're gonna get the clicks and shit like that. So you know, that's just like things to take into consideration. It's like, you know, have a goal. Right, and that's where you want to reach, but don't have the expectation that you're gonna do it in a matter of X amount of time. You know what I mean? I want to reach this goal, and when you do, then go to the next one. You know what I mean? And that's part of why, like on my end with the YouTube thing, it's like we're just doing it because we want to do it. If we ever get to the point where we feel we want to monetize and we're comfortable with everything, we'll do that. But I'll never, like, that won't be my goal to let's get monetization, because then we get away from having the good time and the fun of the content. You know what I mean? And you're definitely having fun with your content and things like that. So it's like, stay there. Just stay in that realm. Like, just do your thing, and it'll come. You know what I mean?
Like don't overly focus on needing to be monetized. Just being you, having fun, putting your videos out. That's what's going to get people, because it's going to be authentic. Yeah. It's not going to be like, I'm just giving you a video because I need this, or, you know, because I said I was putting a video out today. You know, and you've done that a few times. You've said, like, I'm putting a video out, and then it wasn't ready. You were like, I don't want to give you something that's not ready. That's important, because if you give us a bum-ass video, people are going to be like, oh, I'm not clicking on this again. You know, so taking that time, even if it's a day or two late from when you said it, you have a better video that you're putting out. So that's what you just stay with, you know.
On your upload schedule, do you have a specific day usually?
No.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Do it. When it's ready, I'm dropping it.
It's very scattered. Like, it'll be like, it was Monday last week, probably won't be till Tuesday, Wednesday.
But,
like,
you know, obviously if you know what's coming up, you give like the heads up, like, you know, video dropping maybe sometime next week. Yeah. And then, you know, whatever. But like, that's what I had to learn early, is that, you know, when we were doing podcasts and stuff, we'd have guests, or, you know, before with my brothers, like, we would have to kind of like figure out what times, you know, people gonna show up and to start. So we would have a start time that we always said would be like 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and dudes wasn't here until like 7:30, 8 o'clock. So we would always have to be like, oh, you know, late start. So then we went to, okay, like, the podcast is gonna be on a certain day. And we went to the days, and like now, as things are starting to get like tighter and tighter, now we can put windows to stuff, and then, like, you know, it applies to like when we say like time wise, you know.
So the only time we put times now is when we're literally setting up, you know, starting in 10 minutes or starting in the next 20, so that we know, like, we're not telling you at 3 p.m. start time, because sometimes the audio's messing up. We got to figure that out. We got to make sure that, you know, you guys are good with whatever we're talking about. So
what's it? It's called Murphy's Law, or whatever. Like, if it can't go wrong, like, what can go wrong, will go wrong.
And that's how it was. Like, we literally be like, 4 p.m. start time. Oh, nope, don't have the car until 7. Can't get there until 8. So then we'd say, okay, 8 p.m. start time. They get here at 8:30. And then we still have to do all this stuff. And then, oh, that's not working. This isn't working. So then it's like 9:30. And we're like, is it even worth it at this point?
Well, it was definitely like time management, like poor time management on our part.
But you got to learn that.
Right.
What do you call it?
Growing pains?
Growing pains.
Yeah. But stop it. See, you just made me the intellectual guy.
I didn't make you nothing.
Where do you see yourself with like social media and things like that in like the next couple years or whatever?
What do you mean?
Like overall, like, what do you want to be doing social media wise?
I mean, like,
so I want to own Amazon.
I just want to like you know, be like an influencer kind of in a way, cause like that's the thing. Like, when I made my YouTube, like, I didn't want to like confine myself to a specific like thing, cause like there's so many things you can do and like talk about. So, you know, and I just feel like this summer, like when I had all the time in the world, I feel like those videos were like my best. Not saying these ones suck, but like they were just like my best because it was like this summer I don't have school.
Right.
I wasn't working, you know. So now it's like I'm in school, so I'm all like, oh my god.
You were
okay,
less
like,
stressed.
yeah, like I really gotta like figure out like, all right, like I need an idea. What should I do? Like, all right, like you know, I really gotta like put it into thought, and I gotta be like, all right, what day am I gonna film? What day, you know, like, you know.
You have to put it into your schedule now.
Yeah, exactly. So
what's your thought process when you're coming up with ideas for your videos, and like how do you when you execute?
Well, for example, like when I did my first prank video, it was I broke my grandma's TV, and I just like I had seen it, like I had just seen it, so I'm like, why not? Let me just try it.
Figure it out real quick.
Yeah, and I did it, and like it was just so funny because it was like, you know, obviously to me it's like, oh, but people's gonna be like, oh my god, she's about to kill
I literally was like, Miss Pepper.
like, and then I'm like, it's a prank, and I turned it off, and she's like, I'm gonna, you like, you know, it's just like, it was just funny. And then after that, I was like, oh my god, like I don't know, I just like, oh my god, I really like that prank, like, so I did the I'm pregnant one. Oh my god, that one's like 8,000 views, like that one literally just like shot up, just because think about it, like it's all about
That's just not funny. That's just not funny. That's why I love it.
It's all about the search. It's like I forgot what it's called, like search optimizer, something like that.
Yeah.
Search engine optimizer. So like think about it, a lot of people look up like I'm like pregnant. Yeah. Like just that saying within itself, it's like, oh, it'll pop up like you know, and then I was holding the thing, so I was like, oh my god, like
this is real.
Yeah, like so it's like clickbait. You know, that's the thing about thumbnails too. Like they have to also like have like some type of clickbait to it. Like you know, like you wouldn't put it just like oh, I'm pregnant, and be like, or put like praying, because then it's like, okay, like I know it's a joke, like why am I gonna watch it, like you know. So I don't know, it just was like so fun. And then I did my birthday, because that's when I was like, I'm gonna like let it all out. So I did part 1 and part 2 like that, and then that's when I learned about copyright, because I got copyright on my second one, and I was like, oh my god.
What song?
I was like, oh my god, it was 2 songs. It was Blueberry Faygo. It was the instrumental.
So did they cut you all the way, or did they just mute the section? Like sometimes they'll make you take the video down, or they'll mute the section that has.
I think they muted it, but it did, you know, it said like, oh, like that. So now when I would upload a video privately, it'll tell me right there like copyright claim. So I'm like, good. So now I know before I'm like premiering it. Yeah. You know, because I was like, oh my god, like if I would have seen that, I would be like, oh, let's fix that, you know. But so I don't know. It's like interesting.
Yeah. The algorithm is definitely fickle. Like it's hard.
Yeah, it's very like hit or miss. It really is. Like it's like you don't know what they're feeling today.
Right. And you know, like the thing is, what I'm realizing more. Are TikTok? You're on TikTok?
Yeah, I do TikTok.
The comedy scene on there, and the like the sketch comedy, and then the dances. Obviously, it's where it's at. If you get a big following or a big base on TikTok and translate it somewhere else, that's money all day.
Yeah.
But
that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people like, do stuff on TikTok.
Yeah, they show their ass on TikTok, and then they're like, I'm a musician too. Follow me on such and such. Like, bitch, we ain't come here to follow you singing, bitch. Shut your ass. You know what I mean? But
I have.
It's neither here nor there. But and that's the thing, is like a lot of the influencers, so called, they'll have say they're like a medium to big influencer, and then they go on TikTok and blow up even more. The thing with again with algorithms is like the TikTok one kinda it's that was probably the most refined, as in like it bases it off of like light exposure. It bases it off of background and cleanliness.
For TikTok?
Even attractiveness of the person.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Because
you know.
But it's also
no, it's racist as shit.
Yeah.
Because
they always be white girls. I'm like, oh.
Let me ask, like us as white girl, like people like that?
Well, you gotta think, like, it's conditioning overall. It's
it's always light skin, mad pretty. They'll show
good conversation, but carry on. What were you gonna say?
And then the other ones they show, it's like it'll be like fat people, and they're like, oh, they think it's so funny.
Right.
Yeah.
So the reason I said that or brought up the algorithm in TikTok is because when TikTok first like really like blew up, Lizzo was on it. Lizzo just released that song. Yes. So she was probably the biggest star at that time for the song, right? And her shit got shadow banned. So she was literally like, you couldn't even look her up by her at or her name. And it was like, what's the difference of what she's doing and whoever else?
They were taking down her videos. she was in like a bikini and stuff, like normal stuff. They were taking down her videos, and she goes, really, TikTok? So she took it like across all of her platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and was like, so TikTok allows this but doesn't allow this, and like put them side by side, same exact video. A girl in a bikini, it was a black girl in a bikini, a white girl in a bikini, like girls anyways. And it was always like, oh, because she was fat, they're taking it down. And then somebody said, because she had posted a white girl first, and she was like, you know, why are you taking my video down, not hers? And then somebody's like, it's not always about white and black. She goes, it's not, it's because I'm fat. And she put the black girl, the black skinny black girl up. She was like, it's literally because I'm fat. And because I'm fat and black, I think
she said bigger. I don't think she was the one fat.
No, she said fat.
Oh, okay.
She's she does not care.
I mean, she's still getting what she getting, bro. She out here. The amount of dudes that probably be hitting like that. Yeah.
A lot of people like
dudes play that game, bro. But like, just be real.
Does that mean if you like it, that's you?
It is what yo, listen, man. Everybody gotta have some sort of love at some point. You know what I'm saying? I usually say that it's not for me. Now, I don't say like you're ugly or nothing. You just say it ain't for me. You know. But you brought up the light skinned girls and stuff. Let's get into colorism.
Do it.
Oh yeah.
So colorism is a new thing that I've just personally like dove into because of a friend of ours, who actually isn't even black, and she was like, the colorism thing is a real argument. You know, I'm you know, I don't even know what you could call it, like light to like a little bit of dark like tone like me, you know, but there are obviously like darker tone and lighter tone people like than me, but like for me, I've always been like, I always knew, I guess like what do you call that, subconsciously, like the lighter guy usually would get the play. Yeah. You know, unless you were like funny or whatever, right? I just, you know, it seemed growing up like it was easier for that or for them. Do you feel like the colorism thing is a real or actual argument? Like you think?
Yeah. 100%. Especially when you come from, you know, Chelsea with all like, you know, Spanish girls where you don't really feel like you're different, and then you move to Revere and it's all Italians, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm different. Like, yeah, you know. So, and then too, like there was a couple Spanish people, but you know, it's just like you don't see a lot of minorities out there. Like I was probably like one of the black girls there. Like out of like two. Gotcha. So, and then you just can see like it's like the black guys like when I was in high school, and like some came back, 'cause you know elementary school you guys split up, middle school come back, and you could just see like they would all be for like the lighter girls, and like, you know, they have the long curly hair and like, you know, light skin. I'm just like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I don't know, it just like really blows my mind. Like I just think it's so like ugly, you know, because it's like, don't you have a sister who's brown? Don't you have a mom who's brown? Like, you know, I especially hate when black guys be like, I don't date black girls. I'm like,
I personally, I dealt with this. I had to have actually a sit-down conversation with brothers of mine, and they were like, oh, well, your girlfriend's white and Puerto Rican. I'm like, Brown is the anomaly in my life. Brown is the only light-skinned girl I ever dated. Like, only light-skinned. Everybody else was dark brown. Everybody else. I was like, you know, it just so happened we had our kid.
Did you call him dark brown though?
Her face.
Her face.
They're definitely darker brown.
You sure?
Yeah.
Dark brown.
Not like the
they're brown.
blackberry.
They're brown.
So
they're lighter than you.
One is, yes. The other one is around my complexion.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Vanessa's around my complexion.
No way.
100%. Anyways. They were brown. This is what I'm saying. Is like and it's not even a matter of her defending or nothing. Yeah. But like she'll feel like, oh, you know, I'll say like I dated brown women or whatever, and I don't know if she feels like defensive about it or whatever. But it's like, yo, we're together. It doesn't matter in the end.
But you're saying.
I'm not saying they're black women. They're not. They're both Spanish.
You just said that they're dark brown.
They're brown. Like they're not light skinned.
Yeah, they're not white. I'm not saying they're white.
Okay, all right. They got tone to them. Yes,
but they're lighter than you.
Fine. But so wait. What am I to you?
I'm finding them.
What am I to you?
Oh, she's gonna find them.
Light brown or just brown?
You're brown.
Brown.
Okay. Cool.
You're not black, so don't say that.
I am brown.
Kaylee's like, you're not black though. That's black.
Yeah, I'm like,
she's like really brown.
But anyway. That's why I say she's the anomaly. It just happened that way. But my brothers were honestly asking me like, oh, but you know, you're with a lighter or a white woman. And I'm like, yeah. And then I asked them like, do you guys find like black women attractive? And they're like, oh, you know. And I'm like, no, I don't know. Like
I feel like all of them are with light skinned girls too.
I love brown and dark women too.
Right.
But the thing is, like you said, where were they when we grew up? They weren't. What other black women did we know? Especially around my age, there wasn't many black women like that. There's like probably 2 or 3 predominantly black like families that I knew, but I knew their moms and stuff too. So I knew not to dive into that. No way, you know. But like the other ones that I met like through high school and things like that, like you know, they either had boyfriends and whatnot. And it wasn't until I got out of Chelsea, like and like went to college and all that, that I started to see other like black women and things like that. And it was like not starting to see like they didn't exist, but like more like interactions and it kind of like, you know, hanging out and things like that. You know what I mean? Because most of the time, yes.
Well, I'm trying to play basketball in the living room, but every time
Haley, not yet. Go.
Hey, get down.
Go down. Hey. No, you don't do that. Go. Out. 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 Out.
Animals love me.
Look, he's all calm too. So yeah, so the colorism thing for me, like, the person who brought it up, I was like, damn, like, you know, I never even looked into it because, like, with guys, you know, we all just say, like, you're light skin, like, you're dark skin, right? But, like, the shit with women, that shit's for real.
Very competitive, too.
But, yeah, I was going to say, it's not only competitive, but they try and break you down. Like, we might call you a light skin N-word, and then we move on. You know what I mean? Like, that's how we say it, like, to a guy. But women, they'll be like, oh, and they'll start breaking down, like, characteristics. Like, I'm like, what the fuck, her hair got to do with anything? Y'all both got curly hair. What the fuck you talking about?
Yeah, but then, you know, different texture and all
yeah,
that,
I know,
you know.
But,
and if you think about slavery, like, just to, like, if we just... light-skinned girls with the housemaids, dark girls went outside with the black guys, doing the cotton and stuff. So I feel like it just already was engraved competitiveness. So it's like, oh, like, you think you're better than me. Like,
right.
I just feel like black girls in general are like that too, honestly. Like...
But we've talked about that too, is like, you know, in general, since the beginning, the entire society was trained to say black people as a whole were less than, and then it moved on to black men, black women weren't as pretty or whatever. So internally, you know, it's not purposeful for people, right? But for like black men to say, I don't like black women, it's something in them that is like, no, we were always told that they weren't as pretty.
That's what I mean. You were always taught that.
Yeah. But I also have to go off of what you said earlier, because there's no way it doesn't ring true to every black person on the planet. How do you not find what you came from beautiful? You know what I mean? In general.
Well, I don't know. And it's sad, too, because I remember when I was growing up, I used to be like, oh, I wish I was light-skinned, because I could clearly see, like, oh, like, the light Spanish girls, they're, oh, my God. But me, it's like, you know, and it's not like my hair was looking crazy or anything. Like, it's not like I wasn't taken care of, like, you know, had nice stuff. So it's like, you know, I feel like I was always looked at as, like, you know, because I'm sassy, like, very, like, oh, ghetto to, like, society.
You sassy? What? No.
Right. Whatever. Whatever.
Yeah, I feel like there's like these extra like stigmas and rules thrown upon, like, you know, black people for less like not just black, but like with black people there's like more things thrown on us, be it we mentioned it multiple times, hair. Why is that a conversation? You don't talk about the white girl's hair.
Nope.
I hate when they be like, can I touch your hair? I hate when people say that. Like,
when they say it's unprofessional. What the fuck about my hair is unprofessional?
No, I've never.
I've
been to work with my pop braids,
work
like,
just like anybody else. Like, what are you talking about? Just like, you know, I grew my hair and shit. That person
that's like
look like they touched their hair.
Though. Black girls on the news with their hair be like straight, relaxed. So you have to just
not just the news. It's social media. It's general.
Yeah,
like,
get your hair relaxed, get them curls down.
Some of the most predominant or like most like vocal activists for black people do it too. You know, look at like, you know, you got Beyonce. You got what's her name? Angela Rye. Like all of them. They're all beautiful black women and love being black. But at certain points you see them with the European influence.
Have to. And
why do you say have to?
Like, I'm saying have to in the sense of, like, their social media, whoever, their social media gurus, like, they're not going to like you if you have your afro or
you have to conform.
But, and then you have the other side, too, is like, okay, but you're this, you know, very powerful black leader, whether it's male or female, and this is how you're moving, so of course the kids are gonna be like, oh, Beyonce has straight hair, so I'm gonna have straight hair. Like
kind of like Michelle Obama.
She's straight up every time.
Yeah.
That's right.
Never seen her hair curly.
But even then,
you should read her book. You should read her book.
Why would I read her book if you just told me she's European? Like, no, okay. She was all like, no, bro. No. I would check it out. We've been reading these 2 books to Kaylee all of February. It's called Little Legends, and it's like important and what do you call it? Idols of the Black history, and so it's like, and we got 1 book that's women, 1 book that's men, and we read 1 person a day or at night. And it's been very informative. Like I've learned about people and it's not like people that we are in the forefront of conversations, like Martin Luther King and things like that. They're like mentioned in the back later, but like the ones they dive into are like the kind of like the small story you might have not heard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like the guy who reinvented the stop sign and like the stoplight or traffic light. You got
Phyllis Wheatley.
Couple pilots and things like that. They're also in there. I'm trying to think, because there was a couple that were actually. She said she keeps mixing it up and saying they're from Boston, but it's not that they're from Boston. They came to Mass, after during slavery, they traveled up or whatever, got their way out, found their way out.
Yeah.
But it's just like I think it's an important thing to have, especially for my daughter too. Is I want her to learn more about both sides of her heritage, and with that book, it was just written by a Black person and illustrated by a Black person, so it was like a no-brainer for Black History Month to be like, oh, let's get on that.
Yeah.
Shit, I had a question. What were we just talking about before the whole thing with the dog?
I don't remember. I was gonna just say too, about going back to the how people didn't find other Black people attractive.
Live your life, girl.
It literally starts at home though, right? And I think people need to look in themselves too. Is for a Black male or female to say that they don't like, their Black counterparts.
What?
Heritage.
Like a Black woman doesn't like Black men.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So just say that. But you have a Black father, you have Black brothers.
Right.
So you're now saying that your brothers and your father are not, attractive or not this or they're not
that's why I say that's destructive language.
Yeah.
At no point, man, I say it all the time.
I don't know, especially.
Oh, I'd be out like a motherfucker. Go ahead. She give me time. But you always gotta chalk sometimes. Well, sometimes you gotta chalk it up to each his own. You know what I mean? Like what you're into is what you're into. But at the same time, in front of me, you're not gonna bash Black women.
But it's okay but we've talked about it multiple times. It's okay to say that I'm not into Black women.
Yeah.
It's not that you don't find them attractive or anything. You just haven't found a Black woman that.
Do you need to open your mouth at that point? You don't say white women are ugly or whatever. Why you gotta be vocal for Black women? Like people don't.
That's
don't
right. I know it just makes you feel so it makes it. I know me hearing your person just makes it feel like. I think I feel some type of way about you guys. You guys are a certain way, so I'm gonna go with Spanish or white girls.
Yeah.
That's how
But that's what it is, honestly.
Hey, it's fucked up.
It's what's wrong with me, and I feel with not trying to say it's not amongst everybody, but I feel with us we're mad dominant, independent, we don't need you, so it's alright, fine, you don't need me, find someone needy,
So, and that's part of what I feel to be part of the structural problem with the what do you call it, the Black family, or the core of the Black family.
But because the sexes, the boys. You could be out doing your thing at 8 and 15.
No, it's true. Stop it.
The
we
girl,
don't argue.
But the girl, right?
Keep your ass home. Do your books.
Yeah. I'm seeing this closure, can't go out, gotta be home, take care of the kids.
That's true. I agree. Luckily I grew up with all boys, so it's even then though my parents kind of kept us close to the house. You know what I mean? We never were out. Well, we weren't supposed to be out doing stupid stuff, but for the most part they kept a good eye on us. And like I said, the community, our neighbors and stuff, cared enough about each other to be yo, and they would check. Sometimes our neighbors would check us on fucking up. To be honest.
You guys were above us.
The power, man. How much dirt?
Spencer.
Call that shit rock block, baby.
Seen you before the glow up.
I was bad. Ooh, shit. It was rough. But with the whole like power structure of like family in general, I think that we don't really focus or pay enough attention to the fact that like every other race usually has mom and father, and when it's there, the power structure is father first in the sense that he's the one who is like the disciplinary, the guy who kind of carries the load of say the cops stop you, right? Majority of the time it'd be the male talking to the police officer. A lot of the times the black female feels the need to be like, hey, listen, he didn't do nothing wrong. Baby girl, you don't need to interject. This cop should respect this man enough to have the conversation with him with no aggression.
But you know what, black guys, I don't know, I personally would get scared and feel like, if you try to kill me, I swear to God, I'll take your badge.
You're right for that. Like, you're right to have the fear in the sense that, like, you were shown nothing other than, we on rocky grounds, right? My thing is, right, like, I'm all for empowering black women. I love black women, how could I not? Like, my mom, you know what I mean? But the thing is, like, with every other race, the what do you call it? Like the head of house, I guess you would say, would be the male.
Yeah.
Right? So when you do have a black male who's around and in the family and taking care of his kids, treat him as the head of house in general. And it's not saying like for the woman to take, the back seat or anything. Yeah. The male kind of just be the guy. You know what I mean? Like, in a sense, because every other race does it. And there was, I feel like the petition came back up to put, I think it was Rosa Parks, right? Rosa Parks on the $20 bill? Harry Tubman on $20 bill. And I was like, because I think it was Judge Mathis said that he didn't agree with it. And he said, nothing wrong with it being a black woman. He's like, the only problem is that in every other race and every other country, it's the male that's first or like predominant, right? So why wouldn't you do it for the black male? Like this is a power move, is what it is. And like, yeah, everybody's thinking like, oh, we're being progressive and all that. Yeah. But remember, you're still not putting the black male with on level or up to par with his counterpart, be it whoever, whatever race. And that resonated with me because I'm like, bro, like as much as how important it was for me to see my dad be, not only just a man but also learn to change and be a father and all that kind of shit. Like there are people, I know there's people like friends of mine who don't even know their dad or didn't have the opportunity to see their dad change and shit like that. So I gotta appreciate what I saw, right? So I have to be a voice to be like, yo, like give us the chance to be men too. Like, don't just be like, every black dude has whatever kind of a background and such happened and they went through whatever. Yeah, well, I'm sure that whoever else also went through some shit, but you give them the shot of a doubt to be the man. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like in general, like let me run my house too. Let me be the pillar of strength for my family in general. Yeah, I mean, I don't give a fuck who I was with. Regardless, give me the shot. And that's kind of where I stand with the whole, like the issue we need to like kind of dive into, not only as a community, but as a society. Like talk about that more too. Like, and I don't know. I just feel like a lot of the times it's like, oh, well, it doesn't apply to me, so it's not my problem. Okay. Well, when you see the black people fucking uproar, you got it.
I know, right? Okay.
It's not your problem, right?
No, but it's like you're like bad. Yeah. Bad. Like, there's nothing else to say. Like, I mean,
because at a certain point, like, how many times does anybody, any kind of a group, get to say F you to a person or to a people, and then the people not, uproar or uprise and say, like, you're gonna respect us. You're gonna treat us the same. Like, we are beautiful too. If anything, we probably have the most, I don't know, fuck, I'm saying it. We probably have the most, like, in-depth heritage and culture, and I'm talking like black American in the sense that we were stripped from our motherland and had to learn and were taught like someone else's culture and history. Yeah. And then while being taught that, not only did we learn your shit, we went and made our own that was more in-depth and all intents and purposes. Yeah, some of like your religious stuff made its way in, but in the end we made this, and when it was in its infancy, we weren't even allowed to be able to read, write, talk, like out loud and things like that. And we came up with this crazy concept and were able to spread it amongst people in an area where we were getting hung just for breathing the wrong way or looking at somebody the wrong way. You know what I mean? So
Emmett Till.
So this is what I'm saying is like that like the culture that we curated.
That bitch came out.
Yeah,
on her deathbed.
Yep. She's like, I lied. Like, I hope
She's Allah.
Exactly.
No, I hope. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know if there's a heaven or a
penalize her
hell,
family.
but I really hope she's in hell, like burning, like
Are
burning.
you religious?
I mean, like, I believe in God, but I just feel like I don't know, as far as like the whole concepts, like, you know, like Adam and Eve, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I always want to know, like, just because she ate from the forbidden tree, right? We gotta go through all that.
the tree?
Remember that. Just saying.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
the fruit she ate, would it not represent sex?
Because they were already naked.
Burning bush, gonorrhea.
They were already.
What are you talking about?
Wow, burning bush. Wow.
What it is? What?
Wait, wasn't it the serpent that's up there?
Mhm. Yeah, she's like, eat from
What
the
else?
tree.
What else is the serpent?
Just
We'll leave that. You religious?
I believe whatever I want.
Okay.
Whatever makes sense.
Right. Yeah. So do you find yourself asking why to things and like?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you mind if I ask you where did like what kind of household did you grow up in? It was cool.
Like religious wise or
overall. Like what's your heritage? What's your background?
Whoa. Mom's side, black. Dad's like Caribbean.
Okay. So was the Caribbean influence heavy?
Well, no, my dad wasn't.
We'll leave it
Yeah.
there. So typically, well, damn. So then you would understand both sides of whatever kind of conversation amongst black people.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's gotta be tough.
Mm-hmm.
No, because seriously, like for me personally, like a lot of the times when I talk to like Caribbean, it depends though. Like if we talk on like a friendship or personal level first, they give me the shot, right? But if they just look at me and be like, oh, he's Black American, sometimes they just make up whatever in their head first. I'm like, dude, give me the fucking chance. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know what they've been through in general. Like people, like I like to take things on like a case by case kind of deal, right? Like each person went through their own shit, so it kind of forms the way you think and how you approach people, right? A lot of the times, like I find like people who come here from wherever have that like put your head down and get shit done kind of a mentality, right? And with a lot of like Black Americans, I think we kind of like bought into like, oh, we are American. Mm-hmm. I do this because like at what point in history have we been showing we count? Yeah. But we bought into that to the sense where we think like we can joke around and stuff while working and things like that as well. Which to be honest, like the American I don't want to say atmosphere, but overall, it's like people do joke in general. It doesn't matter what you look like; they joke while they're at work. But people who aren't from America might see that as, oh, you're slacking off. Mm-hmm. They're not wrong to think that, and then in our society, that's kind of like the norm is to kind of like make that like connection while working. Yeah. And it wasn't until I sat down and talked to a guy who thought I was like just like this like entitled brat kind of deal. And when we sat down, he goes, "You're way smarter than I thought." And I was like, "What the fuck does that mean?" I'm like, do I talk like an idiot? Like, what does that mean? But he was like, I wasn't even trying to be disrespectful. I just thought, when I see you joking and stuff, that you don't really like think into stuff. I'm like, oh, man, I'm gonna go have lunch somewhere else. Like,
because like I have a friend from like Africa, and like she came here when she was like maybe like 11, and she's like, I can't believe like we came here. She's like, my parents made it seem like America is like the opportunity town, like just all these great things. She's like when I got here, that's what like really made me realize like I'm different as far as like I'm Black. She's like, I've never felt that way when I was home, like, right. But when I got here, it was like very like, because people make it apparent like just how they look at you or how they are, like it's like
She came to Mass first.
Yeah, she lives in Chelsea. She's in Chelsea.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, so
like people like to say Mass isn't that bad. I'm like, it is.
It's massholes.
It's that bad, and it might be a little bit worse because it's like just like sporting events, right? Mm-hmm. How many times you hear the N-word thrown by a light skinned or white person, for lack of a better term?
A lot.
All the time, right?
Even when I was in high school.
So you comfortable enough to say that shit at a family play, like gathering, like people bring their kids to these things, and you comfortable yelling the N-word, huh? What does that say about Mass as a whole? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then what are you saying when motherfuckers ain't around? Yeah. You know what I mean? What are you doing when people ain't around? Like, that's why I said, like, don't let it be like, don't let it be like, you know, like we call it wool over your eyes. Like, nah, bro, they out here too, bro. Like, racists are out here heavy and full effect too. It's not like, you know, like at a corporate level, it's different. Like that racism's there, but they gotta like play the game with you. Oh, you know, we'll take your application and we're gonna look for the best man for the job. Like, bro, I could cook circles. I could cook circles around this motherfucker. I could whatever your field is, and you still don't end up with that job.
But that's why we say like the whole fucking race and ethnicity question shouldn't even be a thing on application. You shouldn't have to check what race you are on application. It shouldn't matter. Your resume should be like, okay, he qualifies for this position. Cool. You walk in, you're black. Okay, good. All right, what are we doing? You know what I mean? But the fact that it's like that is those fucking quotas or whatever, and what's gonna look good in the pictures on our freaking
internet, social media.
Yeah.
A job that I was working for or employed with. When I went in for my initial interview, I didn't interview with the guy who gave me the first callback. And when I went in, like the people, they were chilling and stuff, and I actually went for my second interview that same day, which was supposed to be like a day or two removed, and they were like, "No, we want to get you right in with the GM or whatever." So I went talked to the GM. The GM's like, "You know, you'll have a call back in like the next day or so." I get the call back. They're like, "When can you start?" And I'm like, "Oh, whenever. Like, let me know and I'll start." So I started like. So say I had like the interview on Thursday, I started like Saturday or something like that. And I was in at the job, and the guy who gave me the initial like. You know, he looked at my credentials and stuff and was like, "Oh, we'll give this guy an email back saying like we're interested." This motherfucker tells me like he put me in on like my first ever like job like review. They did like quarterly reviews. He goes, "Yeah, I almost didn't hire you." I was like, "Huh?" He's like, "Yeah, I had a whole other interview lined up, and I was gonna give it to the other guy, but he, you know, you came in and he canceled." I'm like,
"Wow."
Here's the problem. Right. Here's the problem.
Wow.
Now we're talking in that like little hit secret language. All right, motherfucker, I didn't interview with you first. So what would make you think that? Why wouldn't you hire me?
Yeah.
Because when you saw me, I already started. So the only thing you would do is based off of after the day I started, right? So I was the only thing that changed is that you actually saw what I looked like. That's the only thing that changed. Yeah. Because my credentials are still the same. They remain no matter what. And I was like, well, okay. I didn't fuck with that dude. Whenever he needed help, I kept moving. I kept walking. Nope. Because I'm like, and then you were comfortable enough to say that shit out loud? Yeah. Like, fuck. Oh, okay. Whatever.
That happens a lot.
Yeah. Because it's kind of like, I mean, even if it was like you complain, right? We know how it's going to go. But if it was you saying that, I'd be like, oh, wow, that was totally out of line.
I can't believe you said something like that.
Yeah. Like.
But it even goes like deeper than that, too, is going back to the whole hair thing.
Is that like a shotgun looking thing? Like,
shotgun shell, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, it looks like, because I've never seen it in real life. But,
you know,
when I watch my murder. Yeah, the shotgun shell.
Have you shot a gun before?
No.
Do you want it?
He thinks I'll break my wrist.
You got, nah, you'll be fine.
He thinks
Wait, what kind of gun?
he thinks I'll like this. Yeah, I'm like.
We should go.
Okay, we should.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll stand outside. But you got it first.
You ever shoot a gun?
Well, BB gun, yeah.
Yeah, BB gun.
We should go. That'd be fun.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh my god.
Where is it at? Where you guys go?
There's one not too far from here.
The place we went to actually closed down because of COVID.
Wow.
Yo, do you remember a couple years ago the lady and the guy who tried to kill themselves at the shooting range in Mass? Salisbury. She knew the people, and it was a fucking shooting range we used to go to before they closed. So we went again months after. And they changed the shit all together. Like when you would walk in, someone would walk up with you to the register.
They had their hand on the gun. Yeah, they were like.
You be shooting the guns. You got two, one at the entrance and one on the other side, both with their hands on their gun ready. Before
you would walk in, you walk right in with your guns. You put them down. You do everything. They're outside, just like kind of watching, checking in, whatever. Nope, not this time. They were literally one was standing there like this, just watching. If they even thought you like
stepped away,
you put the gun somewhere that not down the line.
They on you.
Quick with it already unloaded and everything back on the
hand on your wrist or like their chest to your back, and you're like, what the? Yeah. Like, and there was two people who did it, and the two people who like backed off, they owned the guns that they brought. Yeah. Wow. Like we rented the guns that they had, but these guys brought their own guns and moved it improperly, and these motherfuckers swarmed them. And I was like, oh, okay, well.
No, they were like.
Yeah, well, you know, a gun is like.
They never pulled though.
No, they were smart.
But they literally like grabbed the wrist and immediately had the guns already like unloaded with the.
I think that's really sick. Like to be able to be like unload a gun. I think that's so sick.
Yeah, they're nasty with it. And the thing is, like, You know, even though like majority of the time when you hear it's like, you know, gun conversations and things like that, you usually think like white Southern person.
Mm-hmm.
And
listen to carry.
To be honest, is like with the couple experiences that I've had like at different like shooting ranges and stuff. Most of the time, it's just like they want to inform you first, like just be safe and careful, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, like maybe like if you go like by like a person to person case, maybe there's a little bit of like questionable things, but most of the time they kind of keep it professional enough where you just feel like it's about shooting and I want you to be careful.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's a lot. Like a lot of the people who are like hardcore advocates for like firearms and being able to like the Second Amendment, like a lot of them are just about the Second Amendment. I don't think like a lot of them are about like, oh, you know, wow, white people say get to have their guns. No, it's like, no, bro, we all should be able to have our guns.
Yeah.
And I agree with that if that's written.
Especially with crime. I mean, why not?
Well, I think
if someone's trespassing, I mean, why can't I?
I am not gonna lie to you. I say because the amount of white people that got guns, I think a black person, the same amount, as close as we can, should have guns too. Legally.
I want to.
Because like, you know, what I keep thinking is like all these motherfuckers talking about inciting a race war. I'm like, good luck, because I don't think you guys really understand how many illegal guns are on these streets, and how many illegal guns can be in the hands of whoever. And y'all think because y'all own y'all shit legally, y'all gonna beat us? I'm sorry, one man can only shoot so many guns.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Do you think they would ever do a purge? A real life purge?
Yeah, good luck, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of politicians heads are rolling, bro. I don't think you'll see a lot of like that inner city shit.
Yeah, we would. I think if there was ever a purge, everybody's like the collective will just go hit all these houses. Like it's not gonna be, you know, community shooting communities. We're all literally gonna like
go to the top. Like let's go.
I really
we're on our
way.
The gate's not open. Like wall's gonna open now. Like
that's what it is.
I don't know, but then it's like I don't feel bad because it's like I mean.
I don't feel bad for them.
Why?
I mean, we've been expressing ourselves respectfully.
How many times can we say, yo, enough's enough?
Yeah, exactly. That's like, from my paper I'm doing for my class, it's called the doll test, and it's from,
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Kenneth and Mamie Clark. Yeah, and like, it is, and like, it's just.
Can I ask a question? When you guys say it's fucked up in general, what do you mean? Like, it's sad? Like,
yeah.
Because for me, like, that kind of stuff is sad. You know, like, fucked up to me is like, damn it.
I have the legit article where, like, it says Negro children. Like, it says, like, this, like, legit from the 1940s. Like, this was from the Negro children nursery school. Like, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow. I'm like, Negro. I'm like.
I just found out my dad was in, my dad was in the Boston busing thing.
Oh yeah, my grandma told me about
Oh
that.
my god, bro! I was like,
they were what was it? They were like mad, like trying to like kill them, like get off the bus.
There was like throwing rocks at the bus and stuff.
The entire family, kids included, that went to that school were lined up in front of the school, waiting for the buses, spitting, throwing rocks, like just.
Ruby Bridges.
What was the thing we watched? I think it was on YouTube. I'll find it. I'll send you the link. But it's it was like one of the saddest like realizations for me. Is like I sat there and I was like, as men or as a people, like the black community, like we failed those kids. Like regardless, like they're adults now or whatever, but we failed them. There should be no reason a child, and even more so, it made me mad is that it was a female. So a black young female child, all she did was went to school where she was told to go to school, It was like on each side had like 3 or 4 white, like grown white men on her on each side, and then in the back was like other kids, like, you know, teenagers, then like younger kids and all that, holding signs that say like F the N words and, you know.
Was it Ruby Bridges? And was it based off that? Because remember that one?
I'm not sure if it was Ruby Bridges. I gotta find out exactly who it was.
That's the one. That's the right one, right? Where she like went to a segregated. She went to a segregated school.
Because this one was up in Mass. Like, literally, what happened at, like, one of the schools that's still staying in the South End. Oh. When it's because they were busting.
Well, the
Ruby
Bridges thing was, like, old. Like, you know, it was, like, she was her first time going to, like, a white school, and, like, all the people were, like, and they had to be, like, security guards bringing her into it. And, like, she had to bring her own lunch because they didn't want her to poison her and stuff. Like, I was like...
So remember this, right? In the time of, like, you know, where segregation, or even, let's go more so, like, slavery, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of the time, the way they would push, like, that this was okay was through religion, right? Because they would, and it would be the white Southern whoever who would push that.
Yep.
So what in your religion would tell you that it's okay to treat another person or being like that, right? Mm-hmm. And the way they did it was to be like, oh, but they're not human, right? So let's get past that and go to segregation. You had the Christian and Catholic churches be the forefront saying it is that what's it called? Desegregation is what's that word they use? To say like call somebody like against God. Abomination. They would say like that. They would say it's an abomination.
I'm like abomination.
But I'm like, bro, like so the people who are supposed to be the most forgiving and understanding and accepting were the ones that's like, nah.
But that's why I'm like, this is my religion. I'm like this. I'm
Well,
funny about it. I'm like, why y'all judging? Y'all be mad judgmental for. Jeez, mad judgmental.
I just think that when we talk about like the they or the power that be, religion is at the pinnacle. I think they're the ones at the top. Mm-hmm. That's the only. There's only two ways to really spread a message across anything, but to do it around the world, where black or skin tone. Let's do that. A skin tone. Yeah. Let's say a height. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's say we're talking about height. Okay, anybody under 6 feet, they're little devils. Yeah. How would you spread that message around the world? You gotta have somewhere. You gotta get at the core, which means families and whatnot, right? Most of the time, it'd be through religion or belief. The only other way you can do that is through money. Yeah. Right. Those are the two ways. So if money can only go so far, in terms of like trying to spread a message, the only other way that our message has been spread across the world has been through religion. Mm-hmm. But nobody wants to see it that way because obviously like they're invested in it, which isn't wrong. If religion makes you feel like a better person and it makes you get through your day better, I'm all for it. I'm not knocking religion at all, but at the same time, let's have the conversation that not everybody's practicing it the same way that I don't know what they call themselves, like the good Christians or whatever, but how they are, but the times when you start to see like that holier than thou argument, mm-hmm. like when they talk to you, feel like they're talking down to you. Yeah. Obviously it's gonna turn you off from religion. Mm-hmm. And that's where I feel like a lot of the times.
Also against everything that they're.
Right, because religion it teaches you like man is man. Yeah. The only thing above you is God and shit like that. Like what?
That whole I was just looking it up. That bus and busing thing. That's the desegregation. So it was happening for a while, but the desegregation part of it started in 1974, and didn't end until 1988.
Dude, that's crazy. See, that's what I'm saying. People want to tell us like, oh, it's so long ago, bro. Like me personally, my grandparents and stuff and great grandparents are gone, but like there are people who met their great grandmother or great grandfather. Like they were at the end of segregation and shit. Though. Like they saw that shit.
Even if you put it like that, like my mom wasn't even born yet.
Okay.
So for you to say it was that long ago. It's not.
Yeah. No, that's what they say. They're like, oh, it was so long ago.
I'm not saying you.
Right. No, you're helping my argument. I get you. I know. But that, like, it's just. It's crazy. I don't know.
Like, I met my grandma's grandma. She was born in 1921. She died in 2017, so at 96.
Wow. That's a full life.
God rest her soul. Her name, May, down south. May. But, yeah, like, she just, like, had, like, so many stories. Like, I remember my grandma was like, oh, I used to go with her to go clean up, like, the white people's houses, because, like, like, that's what they were, the maids, like, like, never, like, qualified enough, I guess. Like, when I was reading about Mamie Clark, like I said, like, she went to, like, Columbia University, stayed for an extra year, went to Howard, got her master's, and, like, when she tried to apply for jobs, it was, like, they would try to give her, like, very underqualified jobs, like, stuff like, stay put this paper, like, to make them feel like you're stupid, like you're and like she said, like, I felt so embarrassed working there, like, it was like, and then she opened a center for poor black homeless people because they didn't have no psychology services and they would be labeled mentally retarded even though their IQ was above mentally retardation. Yeah, that's
a lot of now we see the reverse of that in the sense that a lot of the times when it's a white person or someone messing up. And when they go to court, they're not mentally fit to stand trial.
Yeah.
How many times do you get to say, like, what does that mean, bro? You knew what you was doing when you went and shot those 12 people or whatever the fuck you did. Like, stop trying to cop out and you do it in such a public eye that when it passes, it's like you're literally shitting on the intelligence of everybody else. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because, like, if we all had a chance to vote or cast a vote, that motherfucker's in jail or facing the death penalty all the time, every time. You know what I mean?
As a collective, too. Like.
Right. Because it's, like, the outrage is more so, like, well, I can't say always because, like, the whole Colin Kaepernick thing really is what is, like, for me, like.
That kind of started it.
Well, it's what I always go back to in the sense of, like, the whole uproar was that he was disrespecting the flag in America. Yeah. So where's your conversation with the storming of the Capitol? Where are all those people? Why are you not upset?
But even bring it back.
Bring it back.
Real back. So when the whole Colin Kaepernick thing started, they were upset he was disrespecting the flag, right?
Right.
And then if you look into everything about the flag, all these people that put the flag on their cars in their house, that's disrespecting the flag. Because that's not how you're supposed to be doing it.
So there's an etiquette. There's an etiquette. It's a flag. You can actually look it up right there if you want. So basically, I forgot what code it is. I think it's like code 4 something. But you're not supposed to like wear it as clothes. It's not supposed to be under a certain height, like off the ground. And that's all part of like the etiquette of the flag. And so all these people got tattooed on their bodies, who got clothes
on their car.
That's all literally like you're disrespecting the flag. It's written in the same kind of same way like the Constitution is written.
You want to know something I worry about? Sometimes I worry like, will we ever get like our like, I don't want to say freedom, but our like, you know, I'm black and that's okay. I like, you know, like I'm black and I don't have to worry that someone's gonna look at me funny, or I'm black and I don't have to worry about a Karen saying she feels threatened, or you know, like I always wonder like, will that ever come? Like, because I feel like honestly within my time probably not. Hopefully my kids or my grandkids, you know, it's just like, because it's sad, you know, like it's just like. Say like even with like kids who are mixed, I feel like it's still like, oh, like the mulatto, like, you know, and it's like, okay, like what's wrong with that? Like they love each other, like who cares? It was the was it the Star Trek? Not Star Trek. What was that show where it was like they were in space and there was a black woman in it, and like it's like so old, like OG old, and like she was with a white she was with a white man, and like they did not like that when she came out about them being together. Like they were not for it.
Star Trek?
I don't know if it was Star Trek, but I know it was like a space show where like the guy's sitting in the thing, like guys, like someone's over there, like, but they're in space. I don't know if I'm saying it right.
Star Trek or
But I know she was like the only black first female like cast person.
Yeah, it might be Star Trek. Maybe.
I think Star Trek. I think there's only.
I think they had them do like an interracial kiss, and like so many people did not like that. Like they were like, that's not okay. Like they were like, I'm like, dang. Like so now y'all saying who you can't sleep with? Like oh,
you know like, I know we're not going anywhere with like this whole like race stuff.
How?
Idris Elba was gonna be casted as James Bond. That'd be a fucking sexy ass movie.
Oh my god, yeah.
Idris Elba carries himself in a great light.
His accent though, him not even being from here, his accent, I love that. I love that.
Idris Elba is literally, he's a great dude. Great dude, and he's into like so many different things. It's like how can you I don't know if you want more, but you chilling or yeah. Like I don't know how you could not want the guy to play the role of James Bond when it was offered to him. It's not even like he like campaigned for it. They were like, we're interested in having another James Bond, and people were like, no, James Bond has to be white. Well, first off, if you really know about the story of James Bond or like the mantle of James Bond, it is not a person. It's a rank. So it's like 007. You build to that. You become that. It's not like James Bond's a white male who's blonde. Oh wow! That's not real.
The whole time I thought that. I'm not even kidding. No. I really thought this whole time that was a person.
So basically, what it is like the British CIA, and it's like you could become like captain, corporal, and all that stuff. That's how they rank the 007 and stuff. But it's like all like secret. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like you got 00. I think it goes up to like 9. I think.
So
he just fell. He's 7 out of 10. Say. You know what I mean? And they're like, oh yeah, 7 has to be a white dude. What? No, it's a rank. It's not a person. Right.
But to go off what you were saying earlier is like, what is it going to happen in our time? Is it going to happen after us? Who knows? But all we do know is it starts with education. Mm-hmm.
So you're basically saying kill all the old people?
Kill all the old people.
Right.
But even then it's the old people's passing that on to their kids, so it's just repeat.
That's why we gotta get rid of them earlier.
So what it is? That's what I mean to purge. What it is you have to start until Black history is taught in school systems, not just on Black History Month, not just about slavery. None of this is going to change because and I was telling him a lot of shit that I did growing up. 100% racist. Did I know that? No, because I grew up in the inner city around black people, around Spanish people, so that's all I knew. Mm-hmm. So I used to say the N-word all the time. It was always like, hey, what up, what up, what up? Real quick. Get that shit going, bitch. But nobody ever corrected and was like, this is where the word started from. This is why you're not supposed to use it really
Mm-hmm.
until we were together. Like even in songs I would sing, he'd be like, you need to cut that shit out, and I was like, but like it's just
Get
like
that shit
whatever.
gone.
So
Yeah, people say like, oh, it's just a song.
yeah, but when he showed like when he educated me on it, I was like, oh shit, yeah, I probably shouldn't have been saying that.
That's
like
the
nobody
thing.
said nothing.
Well,
So
it's
for
because
years,
the education wasn't thrown out
They
there,
don't,
too.
but they do Black History Month like they're like, oh, Rosa Parks, like barely in slavery. They're like, all right, we're gonna show a couple graphic photos. I'm like, how about we show where you white people was raping the black girls but calling us nasty and stuff? Or like
How about selective breeding that you
But
guys did amongst black people?
but so
And they get mad that we have like these like athletic traits and whatnot and better muscle tone. I'm sorry.
But, yeah.
You made a son sleep with his mother or grandmother.
Yeah.
How do you how the
But
fuck are you supposed to feel?
First of all, let's be honest, right? Like white people are fucking
Your
dumb.
daughter's calling you.
Yeah, so she can wait.
Well, I always say
but
the whole thing
I'm
about
gonna
racism as a whole, like the whole idea of race, came from like a hurt ego.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is white people. The fucking white people are dumb because I'm gonna say this because you got like during the time of slavery.
Are you brainwashed?
Yeah, probably, but
By black people? Or by me, I should say? I don't know. I think
so
She's like, yeah,
let me get this out. Let me get it out.
Go.
So white people are stupid. Say it again. Because during the time of slavery, right?
Go ahead.
Everyone was taught that black people weren't up to par.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, black people were dirty. They were this. They only did this, this, and this.
You said you guys.
Like I'm saying, like so why the hell did you allow these dirty people to feed your kids from their tit? Why the hell did you know what I mean? So if they were so dirty and they had all these fucked up genetics or whatever you wanted to portray it as, why were you okay with your child sucking on their nipple? Or why were you okay with them taking care of your kids and raising your children?
I got a good one. Ready?
Right.
Oh, their big nose, big lips, all their curves, ugly. Kylie Jenner.
Literally, pick any
Everybody.
female right now.
The
That's
whole
just-
Kardashian family.
Just drop it, but they be like natural puberty. I be like, no, cause you was a square, cause you was a square, cause you was a. You're like this, and you're like all curved, and you think cause you're with Travis Scott have a black baby. They all have black babies too. I'm like, y'all are.
Let me read this real quick.
Go ahead.
So it said the reality is that they try to teach people blacks started as slaves instead of acknowledging that they capture architects, engineers, and scientists. And that's why
I say it all the time. Kevin.
And that's why we started reading these books to Kaylee, because we know in any school system, all she's going to know is that black people were slaves, and this is what they did, and this is.
No, they're gonna lightly brush over it. Like,
That's what I'm
you
saying.
said, it's like, oh, this might be graphic and hurt someone's.
Yeah, and it's like a picture of whipping. I'm like,
yes, child.
Yeah.
You.
And it's quick.
she's bored.
Kaylee wants it. No, she's not bored. She's being dramatic and wants like a snack or something.
I said she needed to take a nap.
Oh. Anyways, yeah. So like you guys were saying before, I think it's more than just like covering Black history, or it being like in our school system.
Mm-hmm.
I think what we need to do is really get a little deeper and start looking into like these judges that have been sitting on seats for 6 to 8 terms. To the Senate, people who've been lifelong politicians and stuff. Where do you see someone get a job and be able to claim it as a lifelong job? Why the hell is someone who is making these rules and laws being able to sit on these seats for over 40 to 60 years? All that's doing, like you said, it's kind of perpetuating the fact that the shit that was passed down to you is still going to be implemented after you. That's all that it's doing. Because if there's new blood thrown in there, that means that someone else who wants change or was grown or brought up differently might be the one to bring that change or spark the start of the change. But we can't do that if we got a bunch of old fucking people who believe that, believe a certain way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not even just saying like with the black argument. When it comes to like money and stuff, there's like this like hidden language with that shit. Like that we don't learn it in the inner cities and stuff. So it's like the politicians who grew up maybe in an affluential area, they know that kind of lingo and talk and know who to rub elbows with and shake whoever's hand and keep it going, and they'll pass that on to the next man who might look like them or might be the next man up for the chair. Well, why is it not that we're seeing these seats being rotated a little bit more? You know what I mean? As in like, AOC would be I'm saying that because like the people like her, like AOC and other like younger, what's that dude, the Asian dude everybody likes from, is it New York? I think he's from New York. Shit. he had a seat in. Well, he was helping Biden, but I can't remember his name. Andrew Yang. Where it's like he could have been another fresh new blood to come in and just like shake some shit up. Maybe that's what we need. You know what I mean? And it's like we have too many people who are on the older end of it who kind of, like you said, might have grew up at the end of something, or a grandparent or a parent had a certain way of thinking and put it on them, and now that's how they push that shit through. A lot of the judges in New York and in that like circuit, their conviction rate of people who are like from that city or of darker tone is in the higher 70%. So why is it not that their white counterpart, white male or Spanish male, or well, I would say white more so because they make up more of the populace. You know what I mean? Like black men, I think we're like 13% or something like that. Like we're nowhere near 50% of the totality of people in the United States. Mm-hmm. So why are we what do you call that? Oh shit, what's the term when I can't even think of the term. Well, why are we jailed or whatever at a higher rate? Why are we incarcerated at a higher rate than our white counterpart? When statistically or numbers wise, the amount of them outnumber us so much that they should be more of them should be locked up than us. Mm-hmm. But it's not that way. Why is that? That's weird. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. At a statistical level, it doesn't make sense. But a lot of the times people like to chalk it up to, oh, well, that's a decision that they made in their lives. Well, a lot of those guys ended up on like little small charges of having marijuana and things like that. Well, now it's legal. So what's your argument? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, how do you, like, for me, I think it's like start to look at these cases and start releasing motherfuckers, depending on what they did and like what they got locked up for. But it's time to start releasing people out and not only releasing them, but they should get dibs in being able to try and open up whatever kind of a dispensary that's going to be starting up. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you can't just let somebody out and not help them figure out what's life going to look like. That's chocolate? No, I'm chilling. Chocolate. I was about to talk here. So we've been talking about like the race thing for a little bit and whatnot. Mm-hmm. My question to you is, what would your advice, or what advice would you give somebody who doesn't look like you? What would your advice be to them to like help with making the situation better?
As far as like, us being seen equally rather than differently?
In general, like what would your advice be to like, just to make like the whole kind of conversation and atmosphere of like America be better?
I just feel like we have to educate ourselves like a lot, not just a couple things. Like I feel like it should be like, honestly, Black History Month, like every day they should be doing something in school system. Like today, like we're gonna learn about the person who created this or that, like a black person though, just because it's like we know all about the white presidents and all about the white people who made this and Benjamin Franklin, like we know all about this stuff, but for me it's like I feel like it's always just like Rosa Parks, like alright, like who else do you know Frederick Douglass, like like I really like when they talk about him because his master actually was like taught him how to read and write, but like once she got Alzheimer's and stuff and lost her mind, she kind of like retracted to that, like, oh, like this black man, like treating him bad and like being violent and stuff, but like I liked how he was like understanding of it, like he knew like she's sick, like this isn't her, like he didn't take it like, oh, this is her now, like no, it's like I'll always remember who she was. I just feel like we gotta be more like tread lightly as far as like, for example, like I don't like when people ask me like, oh, is that all your real hair? Like it's like, why does that matter?
Kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. What kind of question?
Like it's like, are those all your eyelashes?
But
most of the time it'd be a no.
Yeah.
Yes, but mine's they're real.
I think even like especially with that, right?
Yeah.
Like people are so comfortable asking, specifically black women, if that's your real hair, if those are your real eyelashes, or whatever it might be.
Can I touch it?
But
I love that. Can I touch it? Like,
but
no.
They are also wearing weaves. They're also wearing wigs. They go get their eyebrows
tan. Oh Lord,
I love that.
So like, you look like a goddamn rock, bro. Like,
they be like orange.
Right. Like, dude, you look like a rock I could find on the beach. What the fuck?
That goes to your point, though, right? Is the inferiority. Yeah. So like, I'm going to break you down because I know that you're beautiful and I know that who you are is good, and I want to be that, but I gotta break you down first so that I always look better, and that's what it is.
Well, look at today's modern, like the surgeries and shit you see. What do they do? Everything little, like bigger lips. They make their nose more narrow. Like what the fuck? Like none of that says European. No, that's what y'all are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh my god, like perfect example, Lil Kim. My
That
girl
hurt my
was
heart.
so
That hurt my
beautiful.
heart.
I'll be good, mad beautiful. Like yes, then
Nah,
she
she looks like
now
an
she's
alien.
like Miss
She's
Piggy.
She's like an alien now.
Cause they I feel like because they treated her so bad. Like I
You
feel like
know
it
who it
just
was?
got to her.
The fucked up part is that it was the black execs of the music industry, because they all want a certain look to push. You know what I mean? Who I forgot what it was. She was watching like Love and Hip Hop, but who was the girl? And the guy was like, "Oh, you know, we gotta, you gotta get your waist done and your ass done and your hair."
Oh, it was
This the dark Spanish chick.
Oh my god, I know what you're talking about. She has a
fucking
big
beautiful.
afro and she's so
Yeah.
pretty. Oh my god, what's her name? Oh my god, I forgot. I'm gonna look it up.
That's what her name.
I think she's Dominican.
Yeah, she is Dominican.
Yeah, something Amara.
La Negra.
Yeah, yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so her.
Yeah.
Beautiful woman overall. I don't give a fuck who you are. There's no way you don't look at that and be like, damn, right?
Her
And then
hair,
this guy, a black male, said like, oh, you know, we gotta do something with your hair. You gotta get your hips done. We want to see like your ass certain way and all this. I'm like, so you want somebody else basically?
Yeah, and I just love her because she's so natural.
Right, but that's the thing is like when she said it, like she was like, I'm not gonna change myself for whatever kind of like price or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the right move. If they're gonna fuck with you, they're gonna fuck with you. Take that shit independent if you have to. Do it yourself because if your music.
Let's just show her.
You got the yeah.
She's real pretty.
Did you get it? You didn't
Yeah, I
get
got
it.
it.
Okay, I don't want to argue.
All right.
I'll be back.
All right.
But like I just found that to be like, damn, like sometimes it becomes like the job overshadows you're dealing with a person, and then even more so you're dealing with a person of your own race that looks like you, like
Whitewashed.
I don't even know if it's just that, because think about it this way: say you start at the same time with somebody at a job, and then they get like a position higher up. They're no longer just the dude or person you was working with. Now they try to tell you what to do. It's like, bro, you bought so hard into the whole thing that, oh, you know, you married to this company or whatever that, you know, you forgot we was in the trenches together, like we working together, working like all this hard shit. Like, no, bro, like you literally went from being a fucking hourly employee to now that you're hourly, but you got a little more responsibilities.
Yeah.
So now you're Mr. whatever company. You know what I mean? Like what? But yeah, I think this has been a decent conversation overall.
Yeah.
Actually, let me ask you too. What would you tell somebody?
It's a dim.
Yeah, he's like,
I was almost done.
what would you tell somebody? More so, what would you tell like a white person? How, like if they were looking to say like, how can I make things better in my like, what can I do to make things easier or better as a whole?
Educate yourself.
That seems to be like the general consensus.
Yeah,
like education overall. You know what I mean? Like, I think we're force fed too much bullshit.
Because you can tell when someone's ignorant. Like, you know?
Yeah. Well,
I think there's a thing too, right? Like if and we've had some examples, but if a black person is telling you, I don't feel comfortable with you using this word, whatever word it might be,
just leave
if
it.
it's the N word, if it's cis, whatever it might be, because there's a lot that's going around too now.
Yeah, sis, because like you say, or girl.
Yeah. And for him, he hates being called boy. Don't call me boy.
Oh my god, yeah, that's a black people
Yeah.
like, boy, what I say? It's like, boy, what? Like,
who?
Yeah.
Nobody. I don't care if you're black or not. Don't call me boy.
So that's what I'm
the
saying.
way it was used here.
Yeah. So it's like if it doesn't matter. So if a black person says don't use that word because of whatever, they don't even have to give you a reason. But you continue to say it, now you're being disrespectful and you're saying fuck what you're saying.
Because I asked you, I spoke to you about it.
As a person, as a human.
I didn't just get crazy. Like, I was like, hey,
Yeah.
I don't really like that.
Exactly. And I think that's where it starts too, is like, we white people need to stop getting so defensive and take that step, right? So if you like when you told me not to say the N-word, I definitely got offensive at first because I was like, what the fuck? Like, I grew up where you guys grew up. Then he told me the meaning of the word and I was like, oh shit, okay, yeah, no. All right. But but I had to learn that. I had to learn to not be defensive. He's not telling me something to put me in a place. He's telling me something to say. Like, you can't say that because of the history behind it and your people. No, that's.
But just too, it's like, so if you think it's okay to say, let me just educate you on why it's not, you know, and if you want to look it up, you know, we got the phones.
This is what it is.
Well, and I don't know if you guys realize or saw it, like the whole, like the new definition of racist.
Oh yeah.
What new definition?
Okay, so people wholeheartedly believe. Well, I'll say this and then we can wrap up if you guys want to like get up out of here or whatever. But like, so people really believe that black people cannot be racist because they don't hold dominion or power over any group. And I'm like,
that's kind of messed up.
But that's not the original definition of racism. The original definition of racism is based solely off of your skin. Mm-hmm. That's racism. When you start talking power structure and all that, you're diving into other shit. Let's not make it a wide range of things you can make it be racist, because all that does is give excuses to others. Mm-hmm. No, racist is basically only off of my skin. Mm-hmm. If you don't like me and we've never met, there's only one way you don't like me. It's because of my skin. You are racist. But the second we start talking holding power and things like that, you give these kind of cop-outs and little like loopholes for people to fall through. Just like the term Karen, personally I don't use it. Most of the time when people throw out Karen, it's because someone who was white, a white woman, did some fucked up racist shit or some prejudice shit. Mm-hmm. Call her what she is. Yeah. You're a fucking racist. And I'm not going to call you a Karen and give you that cop-out that it's trending and popular now.
And I think Karen and Chad, those came
Chad's
from
a thing?
Yeah. The male version of Karen.
Oh, I never heard Chad.
I never heard of it.
Wow. And this is to my point is white people made that shit because they don't want to be like called out. You don't want to be called racist. Oh, you called me Karen. Okay, cool. A lot of people might just think that's your fucking name. You know what I mean? But if you're like, you're fucking racist, how are you now going to say,
no,
oh shit,
you're lying?
No, exactly. Like you have to do something.
Yeah.
We had a question on here that didn't pop up here, so.
What was the question?
How do you feel when white people try box braids? That's a big topic these days now too. Some people are mad about it.
I'm gonna let one of y'all take it away first. I'll jump on that.
I don't know. I feel like. So what do we say about black people who have straight hair like white people? Like, why does it matter? Like, I feel like at that point, like, I feel like because the black community is so mad about what we already go through, it's kind of like, you're not going to take that from us. I feel like that's really what it is. I feel like, because if things were, like, then it wouldn't matter. I mean, it's hair, you know? Mm-hmm. It shouldn't matter.
It's a style.
It's just a style. It's just hair. Just like with your nails. Like, what? We're going to say, oh, red nails. Oh, my God. Like, you know? Like.
It's not yours.
No, because my grandma always told me, like, oh, red nails are for hookers.
Yo, my mom would say that shit too.
As soon as we got together,
my mom would say,
she was like,
red nails are red
I came
lipstick.
in one time with red nails, and his mom was like,
She
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, she got red lipstick or red nails. She's a lady of the night.
Even my mom. Oh. Like, I couldn't get them painted until I was 18, and I paid for them myself. Okay.
18?
Yeah. Like, my mom like, no, like, I don't like that. Like, just so, like, no, you know, like, so that's why I just think it's, like, I just think that's what it really is, what it comes down to. I feel like if things, like, if we were feeling heard, like collectively, then it wouldn't matter, because it is just hair, you know, just, like, hair clips, like, it is. I feel like you can't even say like a certain hair, like, because granted, of course, African Americans, if you go back in pictures, you see the braids and stuff. But it's just like, okay, why does that mean we own it? Like, I don't understand. Like, or is it like black branded? Like, I don't understand. Like, are we branding our stuff now to like?
I think that comes to a part of the cultivation of the heritage that we created here. Like, in the sense that, you know, sitting down, like, people usually would get their hair braided probably like before Sunday, I would say, because usually Sunday you'd be prim
your best.
They would say prim and proper to Sunday's best, right? Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, you know, putting on that church hat and all that stuff. So you want to look your best, because that's Sunday. Again, it's what we were taught when we got here from them, but also they were like, we're gonna put our own style and flavor to it or spin to it. I'm kind of like split on that question. I think that, one, like she said, it is in a sense just a style or design for your hair, but also it's like depending on who does it, because sometimes like we go to the Kardashians, I feel every time that they do something it's still appropriate because you know when you're sitting there like they dress like I forgot, it was like a geisha or some Asian, and someone called them out for it, and they tried to justify by breaking down their genetics. Well, explain the black shit, and then I forgot where they're from, but they tried to say that they're of black descent, and it's like, nah, bro. Like, I want to say this like of Pakistani descent, but I could be wrong.
Where was they're from the genocide? Where was that?
The Jewish genocide?
Armenian.
That's
what they are.
Wow.
Oh, ain't that like white or Spaniard?
They're Armenian.
That's not,
every year they go to like the Armenian genocide place.
Where is that? That's not black. Armenian? Isn't that like close to like Russian or something like that? I feel like it's like Spanish though.
Country in Asia.
Well, they have an accent.
But like they're not black though.
No, but they are. I would consider them like. You said Asian?
A white minority.
Yeah. I'm just now learning my countries, honestly. So don't even mind me, please.
There you go. That's how you're gonna know what kind of people.
Oh, I didn't read that. Caucus.
They're white. They're a former Soviet Union. Like it used to be
Asian and Europe.
Yeah. So, but like the Soviet Union, that's all like Russian and shit. Like that's a German. That's white.
Takes you 16 hours to fly there.
I'm chilling. I ain't going there.
That's what I mean.
You know where I do want to go to? I do want to go to to was it Amsterdam or Germany?
Oh, cute.
Amsterdam. I just feel like there's no rules out there, bro.
Let's go
do some abstinence and shit and take the fucking the Euro rail. That'd be fucking crazy.
Oh my god.
That train that literally goes all over. Yeah, let me go see some shit. No, you wouldn't.
I don't know how I feel about that.
That's liquor. It's not like a hardcore drug.
I
don't
know. I have anxiety crazy, so I just
I don't necessarily know where I'm
like if I see something, if I'm not seeing something real, I'm tripping.
No,
and I'm freaking out.
She's
like
you see this? Yeah. You don't see that? Oh, we gotta go.
Look, even then she was like, "What? What are you looking at?"
Yeah, I was like, "What?"
Yeah. No, like well. So off on the question. Yeah, if it feels like it's like that cultural appropriation thing, I think there's a place for a conversation. Yeah. I still don't think you like you jump down their throats because it's like what they say like the highest form of flattery is imitation.
Yeah.
So it's like you must find something you like about whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But even like with sew-ins or getting relaxers, our hair is gonna be straight like how originally Caucasian women's hair are. So it's like what that means like we're trying to like copy. I don't know. I just feel like
no.
It's like what's the name with the Bantu knots?
Oh, Bantu knots. Yeah. Oh my god, when Adele did them. Oh my gosh, she did them. She was wearing Jamaican. Like everybody was like. It
was from Virtual Carnival thing.
Shut up.
Everybody was roasting. She was like.
Oh wait, I think I did. Was she wearing the like Jamaican?
They were like, "Are you serious? Like just because you lost weight, don't be that crazy. Like, hello, don't lose your mind."
The internet always wins, bro. I don't give a fuck.
They do.
Every shit that don't even like have nothing to do with the subject, and they're like, "Bitch, such and such." Like, what her weight got to do with her wearing Bantu knots, bro?
But it's also to what
that's fucking funny though, because like we always like get her.
Like where you grew up too matters. You know what I mean? In a sense, respectfully. In the sense of like, I grew up around black people. I used to have box braids.
Yeah, box braids or regular braids?
Box braids, and I had cornrows.
I couldn't imagine you with box braids.
That's just because we
I
would
know
all
the
go
cornrow
outside.
thing. I knew that.
We would always go outside, and then they would just, the girls, you'd sit between their legs, and they'd just fuck with your hair. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, older and whatever.
Where did you meet Marquino?
Marquino's high school.
Oh, high school? Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah. But like literally, I lived off Blue Hill Ave. We were in the projects. We just all hung out. It was everybody.
In Boston?
Yeah. Everybody treated each other.
She's been out, bro. She lived in New York and everything, but she's been out here. Like, and that's for me. Like a lot of the times, that people be like, "Oh, like obviously, right." A white person wouldn't understand like the black person's struggle, but you have to like commend those who try. In the same sense, also, or in the same breath, there are some white people who grew up in like the same like inner cities or whatever the fuck they want to call it, as they're black people or anybody like Spanish or whatever, and been through some of the shit. Like it might not happen to them, but they were with them and saw it, and that's still someone that they cared about. You know what I mean, or whatever. So it's like for us to always try and like diminish someone else's struggle is I don't think that's the move. I think the move is to like just as much as we want them to hear us, hear them out too. Mm-hmm. Now if it's someone coming from like an affluential area trying to talk about how they're so down and all that shit, it's like, bro, you chose to come down here. Exactly. You chose to come and try and be in the city. You know what I mean? Like we were given this. We didn't choose it. And that's where I think we need to, or people should like have that difference of conversation or tone. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think this was a good one overall. We appreciate you guys coming, and make sure you guys follow her on all platforms. You're not giving your Facebook out, right? That's more on like the personal. We're gonna get her a link tree. More on the Instagram.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a link tree.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm hip now.
So make sure to follow. Well, we still in hip. We just got lucky. I don't know where the fuck did you find that? TikTok. Oh, TikTok's where it's at. So make sure you guys follow her on her Instagram at
it's Niyaaa with 4 A's, 2 underscores.
Get it right. 4 A's, 2 underscores. And then also you got your TikTok, YouTube.
Yep, TikTok. It's at Niyaana. So NIYAUNA. Boom. And then my Snap. Oh my gosh, see all my things are different.
Yeah.
We're gonna we'll
post it after.
We'll hook you up with a link tree.
All right.
Do everything maybe today, tomorrow, whatever, and we'll post it.
Perfect.
So that they have it. We'll post another video. We'll post everywhere, and then that way it is.
Because I'm like, I'm gonna have to spell everything like.
Yeah.
Da-da.
Give me your YouTube though.
Yeah, on YouTube you can
check her out. Her skits, they're funny as hell. The pranks she does.
Living the Life with Niyaaa. You YouTube that, she'll pop up.
It's funny, and for me, the best part is Miss Pat. I love it. Cause I'm like, you better leave her alone before she gets you. She gonna get you.
She ain't gonna do that. I'm her pretty baby.
I know.
Her first.
Me knowing Miss Pat, how I know her, I'm like, yeah.
All right, you know her when you was youngin'.
She gonna go upside everybody head, bro. Even now, she'll hit me up and be like, "Oh, you better act right." I'm like, what I do?
She be like, "Boy, where you at?"
They got me thinking. Yeah. So I want to see my boys. I'm like, where we meeting? I'll be there.
She be like, I want to see my boys. You're like, all right, I'm texting them right now.
Where I gotta go.
Like, I gotta go. Sorry, like.
I was already in the car driving.
Yeah. She's like, I already have the car running. Let's go.
No, but yeah, that's what she did.
Yeah.
She didn't even know who I was, and she was ready to beat me in the daycare. I was like,
that was funny.
Stop. And then she's like, you take care of my granddaughter. Okay, I like you.
I was like, still though, she was like, where is she? Like, with it. I was like, my bad.
Oh my god.
I came home one day and I was like, this lady comes in and she's always yelling at me for nothing.
I was like, no way.
And then I was like, and she wants me to call her Miss Pat. And he was like,
you better do it.
I know, you were like,
I was like, wait, you know her?
He was like, why are you asking me questions?
Do I know her? Yes.
He was like, why are you asking so many questions?
What is offense?
He'd be like, yeah, he's like, oh my god.
So funny.
But so it's been a good one. And with that being stated, it's been another successful installment of the With All Respect podcast. Last cheers of the night. Well,
cheers.
For you, I'm telling we got people coming over after. We're gonna drink.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Bye.
That's cute. I mean, you guys are more than welcome. I just don't want to pressure you guys, but